We'll see Vince Young in action on offense early. The Titans will receive to start the game. There's the kickoff man for the Texans, Chris Brown. And Bobby Wade is back deep now for Tennessee. There he is, number 19. Jeff Fisher, his coach, told us last night he's a guy who loves to run back kickoffs. These two teams met October 29th, and it was a Tennessee victory that day. And David Carr was actually pulled in the second half because he really was struggling. 5 turnovers committed in that game by the Texans. Here's the kickoff on the 2-hop. It's taken by Wade. Across the 20. And the Titans like this kickoff return. He's out to the 32-yard line. And here comes Vince Young. Troy Evans makes the tackle on special teams. Young, the rookie from the University of Texas, who quarterbacked them to a national championship last January. The statistics are deceiving. What he does is wins games. They've won 3 in a row, 5 of the last 7. Offensive line, young but some really good players, including the veteran Mawai at center, a 6-time Pro Bowler. Travis Henry's 151 yards away from being a 1,000-yard rusher. And the noise is intense. It's sold out Reliance Stadium. Young takes a look. Here comes the pursuit. Heading for the sideline. He picks up a couple of yards. And good speed on defense. Aria Williams, who was the number 1 overall pick in the draft, he helped run him out of bounds. We look now at the Texans on defense. Williams, Maddox, Killings, and Anthony Weaver across the defensive front. Good linebacking in Orr, Ryans, who's been phenomenal as a rookie out of Alabama, and Moreland Greenwood. And Dante Robinson and Fagans have been making plays at the corners. Earl and Brown are the safeties on 2nd and 9. Young gets some time. He looks like he's got a place to go, and he turns it upfield. Now throws on the run to an open receiver. It is caught inside the 20 and dropped. Ball was on the hands of Drew Bennett, and he dropped it.
The easiest catch you can make, right on his hands, and we're seeing what Tennessee's doing right now. They're getting Vince Young out of the pocket, giving him a chance to look down the field and make those throws. As you can see, his elusiveness. And Drew Bennett, I think he stopped in with us and had breakfast, maybe had some of those pancakes and that syrup gun on his fingers a little bit.
Boy, he's a excellent hands. Drew Bennett's the guy, as you know, Richard says, right now we think we can beat anybody, we can do anything, but he dropped what could have been a touchdown play, and now it's 3rd and long for Tennessee as Vince Young goes in the shotgun. It is loud early. Young standing in, dumps it off. He gets the ball, and it's taken by his tight end, Bo Scaife. And Scaife is going to be knocked down well short of the first down. Orland Greenwood makes a defensive play, and a good first stand for the Houston Texans defense is certainly aided, though, and abetted by an unusual and rare drop by Drew Bennett in the open field inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, playing nickel defense on that 3rd down. Keep everything in front of you. Don't let Vince Young escape out of the pocket. That's going to be the interesting thing, is the defensive lineman now for the Texans. How do they rush? When you have a quarterback like Vince Young, kind of eliminates your double moves. You've got to stay in your running lanes. Good job that time on the defense.
Now Craig Hentrick ready to punt the ball. He hits it hard and long. Texans come up on it. Dexter Wynn living dangerously, and excellent special teams coverage by Tennessee. And the knockdown's going to be at the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt, a 2-yard return. As we look now at David Carr and the Texans offense. Carr struggling of late, trying to get the ball in the end zone. Only 1 touchdown pass in the last 6 games. Offensive line has been hit hard by injuries this year. Eric Winston, the rookie right tackle, has been playing well. He's got a big job today, though. See if Vanden Bosch against him. Anthony Johnson leads the NFL with 85 receptions. They'll use running back by committee. Lundy starts. Andre Johnson leading the NFL with the 85 receptions. And now on 1st and 10, David Carr up under center. Tony Corretti, our referee, blows the whistle before the snap of the ball, and so the Texans get off to a bad start.
5-yard penalty remains first down.
Andre Johnson called for a false start. We look now at the defense of the Tennessee Titans with Vanden Bosch, Robert Smith. Hainsworth is back and playing well, and Travis LeBoy at the other defensive end. Good linebackers in Thornton, Sermon, and Bullock. And in the secondary, Pac-Man Jones is a dangerous guy, and particularly returning punts. He's returned 2 for touchdowns this season. One of them in that first game against the Texans.
Full start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Not an auspicious debut here.
Yeah, it is, and not quite understanding why this like this. We saw them on practice on Friday. I thought they had a good job in terms of getting things done, but right now, 2 offsides penalties, 1st and 20, not the position you want to put David Carr in.
Ball starts, make it now a 1st down and 20. Carr with a quick out. Johnson comes across the 10-yard line. Big wide receiver from Miami of Florida, 6'3", 220 with his 86th catch of the year, and it's good for a 6-yard gain, but that brings up 2nd and long, 2nd and almost 15.
And that's what you're seeing out of Houston all year long so far. You see the completion rate up for David Carr, but so much of it is the short passing game. Will they have the ability to go down the field with 2 receivers like Bolds and Johnson? You think that would happen, but I'm telling you folks, up front protection has not been there for David Carr.
He's been sacked a lot again this year. The sack count is down from the same point last year, but still been a lot. And again, they try the short pattern, this time to Jed Putzier, tight end, and the Texan fans unhappy early.
Yeah, and Ronaldo Hill doing a good job on that open field tackle. As you see, they're just trying to get those mismatches on the outside. Tight ends, wide receivers, one-on-one against Ronaldo Hill. They don't think he's the better open field tackler. They want to pick on him, but right there, good job again by Tennessee's defense in terms of tackling in the open field.
And here now a tough call for David Carr, 3rd down, and he needs 12. Carr, he's also good afoot. He's showing it here, and David Carr is knocked down, but he's short of the 1st down. Needed to get out to the 28, got to the 26. Robert Smith, who's played for both these teams during his career, he makes the tackle. And now on a 3 and out, it is the Texans who will have to punt the ball back. There's the Pac-Man, a very dangerous man.
And you never know where he's going to go. The punt return might be going to the right, and he's going to go to the left.
That late October game, he had a 53-yard punt return for a touchdown against the Texans. This time a good kick, and it takes a big roll downfield. Ball hit by Chad Stanley, who's been struggling somewhat this year, but not on that one. That's a 53-yard punt with no return. So Vince Young on the offense set to go a 2nd time when we come back. Vince Young and the Tennessee offense set to go a 2nd time. From the 22, Travis Henry gashes the Texans defense. Penalty marker is down as the tackle is made at about the 30. So early penalty problems for the Texans. We'll see who this one is on, as they had 2 false starts on their opening drive.
Travis Henry doing it.
Offside. Defense number 90 lined up in the neutral zone. This penalty has been accepted. 5 yards and repeat, 1st down.
It's Mario Williams, who was the #1 player picked in the last draft.
3 penalties now for Houston here in the 1st quarter. Lining up off sides, 2 on offense for movement. Not the way you want to begin the game against Tennessee. You don't want to give a short field to Vince Young ever.
And Richard Pac-Man is now in the offensive unit.
We talked about him. Gonna line him up. I'm waiting for the full house backfield to come about.
He's a slot back to the near side. 2nd white shirt up. That's Pac-Man in motion. They fake to him, go to a straight ahead power run.
1st down, Tony.
Dante Robinson comes in and makes the stop on Travis Henry.
And that
6-yard gain on the play.
And it poses a real, problem for the defense. You see Travis Young going up inside, getting a good job of front blockers like Kevin Mawai, the center. But do you play nickel or do you play base? As we see the fake here, you know you've got to keep your eyes on number 32. As we talked about, he's a threat to score every time. That will be the big question mark today for defense for Houston.
Now Tennessee goes 1st and 10. Young pulls the ball back, swings it out. His Texas fullback, Ahmad Hall, the big Marine, he calls him. He coughs it up, and the ball's on the field. It looks like that the Texans have it back. DeMarcus Fagans has been making big plays. He had a 58-yard fumble return for a touchdown last week in the win at Oakland. He gets it back after Ahmad Hall, who teamed with Vince Young at the University of Texas, gets a big gainer and then loses the ball.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 41. Combos, what your mom would feed you if your mom were a man. And by Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything.
We're back. Moreland Greenwood forcing the fumble, and now the Texans have it back in the scoreless first quarter. David Carr with a quick drop. Pump faking and sacked. That's the 35th time this season that David Carr has been sacked. Randy Starks comes through to get him.
And the thing is, on those three-step drops with that pump fake, you have to be able to get rid of the football. Watch him. Once your foot hits the ground in three-step, you've got to get rid of the ball, but also two up front. This is my problem I have with this offensive line. It's a three-step drop for the quarterback. Sell the run fake. You can't set up in the quarterback's lap.
Texans is struggling on offense early in this game. Here is a handoff, and now running nowhere is Lundy, the rookie back from Virginia, averaging just under 4 yards a carry. Randy Starks makes the stop.
Now you're back in a 3rd and long situation. Again, the running play that time. Albert Hainsworth right in the middle. Doesn't get the stat. That's the one guy Gary Kubiak was worried in the running game. Could they get him blocked?
Look at those passing numbers last week at Oakland, one of the worst in the league's history. And now needing 14 yards. Carr takes the deep drop. Throws on the run. But the stop is made on Eric Moulds, well short of a first down. So again, on a second possession, the Texans will have to punt the ball.
And 2 of those times on 3rd down, you're seeing David Carr stepping up in the pocket. He knows he can't drift back. Puts his offensive tackles who are blocking wide rushers in a bind. He steps up, hits the underneath throw. But that's the challenge. When you don't get time, you can't let routes develop.
Chad Stanley, who hit a 52-yarder with no return on his first punt, now hits it to Pac-Man, and it's coming back. He runs it across the 30, and another good special teams coverage play. And Vince Young on the offense will try for a 3rd time after a 36-yard punt and a 6-yard return. Back at Reliance Stadium, the Titans missed an early chance when the normally sure-handed Drew Bennett dropped that long ball, and then Ahmad Hall, the rookie fullback, fumbles. Fagans comes out with it. Moreland Greenwood stripped the ball, so there's no score. Titans have had chances, and now they go 1st and 10 from their 31. Straight ahead give, and they're playing the run hard as Travis Henry is stuck by the strong safety Glenn Earl. And the ball at the spot is out for a gain of just about a yard to the 32-yard line.
And I thought the Texans too would come out and run some blitz here. You're seeing the 8-man in the box, bringing Glenn Earl up. I'll tell you what, it's difficult when you bring 8 men up. You got to make sure you hit your gap, because Vince Young at any time, such a running threat, can come out the backside.
Young's passing numbers have really picked up in the last 2 games. They've been sensational, 65% completions. And here is a handoff, and Travis Henry is very close to a first down. And with the linesman come in, I think he's got it there, Richard. Dante Robinson with another stop. Dante telling us when we met with him on Friday, to contain Vince Young, you can't blitz him. You've got to blitz to a spot and try to get him inside.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you what, the right tackle this time, Dave Stewart, big country, number 76. He does a great job over on Mario Williams in terms of getting him hooked, and that's what allowed Travis Henry to get outside. Take a look right at Trench. Watch the zone now. You see him get him hooked, and that's where Travis Henry jumps right outside, and this is where he's such an efficient runner, Travis Henry. You hit this guy, and he just seems to bounce off. He's like a pinball. Great balance. Good vision.
Talked to Richard about David Stewart. Coach Jeff Fisher told us, he said he's been mauling people. Second-year player from Mississippi State. Now the ball advanced to the 41-yard line. First quarter, no score. Vince Young calmly moving under center. He loves this field. A year ago, University of Texas fans remember what he and the Longhorns did to Colorado in the Big 8 championship game. It was unholy, 70-3 or something. Here's a throw to the flat. Scaife gets it, and a good open field tackle cuts him down. C.C. Brown, the free safety, gets him down. Scaife, of course, a teammate of Vince Young's at Texas. The 12 deals of Christmas are going on now at the CBS Sports Store. Save up to 25% on gifts for the sports fan on your list. Then check back each day for a new deal. Click on Shop at CBSSportsline.com.
Last time they brought Shante Orr off the outside. They're going to make sure they don't allow any escape routes for Vince Young. Vince Young that time doing a good job seeing the blitz, getting rid of the ball.
2nd and 8. Vince Young and the Titans. Straight ahead give. Travis Henry working hard. Now a penalty mark is fired in the air. Mario Williams of the Texans was the lead tackler. Already in this game, there have been 3 flags called on the Texans on their home field.
We're going to have holding. Usually comes from the umpire standing right there in the middle.
Illegal use of the hands to the face, offense, number 76. This 10-yard penalty, 7 down.
Just giving high praise to Dave Stewart, but that time he got his hands up high. Called for the penalty.
Yeah, going against D'Amico Ryans, big country. Got his right hand inside. I don't think D'Amico Ryans comes up to his waist. Does Dave Stewart about 6'8" out there?
Yeah, he had his hand right in the cage.
Yeah, he did. But I'll tell you what, D'Amico Ryans, what a player. He'll come up and stick anybody. Charismatic young man, brings a lot of energy and passion. Love watching him on film.
Leads the NFL in solo tackles, does this rookie from Alabama. Was the Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year a season ago. And here's a flat pass. And nicely executed one as Bobby Wade breaks a tackle. Greenwood and Fagans finally get him down. But there's an 11-yard gain on the play. But because of the previous penalty, it brings up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, Vince Young just showing so much more confidence in the shotgun. That time he saw the blitz, corner blitz coming from his right side. He delivers over to the single receiver side, makes the throw. And that's the difference. You see him running the football better, but also when he sets up in the pocket, his whole demeanor. And that's somebody who's understanding the game, what's going on around him.
Well, last week against the Colts, Vince Young converted 6 third downs running the ball. This is 3rd and 2. Throw back. Young takes a look on the run. He turns it up. He has the 1st down. He's not done. Vince Young inside the 30 and is finally out of bounds at about the 26-yard line on a sensational Vince Young play. He did it all, and he did it alone.
Man, he wisely steps out of bounds, going down the sidelines to save his body. But we're setting up a flea flicker on this one here. But the safety, Earl, that time 6 back deep, doing a good job protecting it, so no deep throw. But this is what Vince Young gives you, folks. Such deceptive speed. And for 6'5", he's so nimble. His moves are so subtle. He just leaves people in the fog in the open field.
He does, Richard. He has that big, easy stride that just chews up yardage. Everybody thinks they have the angle on him, and they don't. That was a 24-yard gain. So now the Titans are challenging in this scoreless 1st quarter. Travis Henry, a hard-running former Tennessee Volunteer who's been to the Pro Bowl as a Buffalo Bill in his 2nd year. Now in his 6th season in the league. Babin makes the stop. Vince Young is a runner. There's a lot of people that doubted whether he'd be able to do it at this level, but those doubters are harder to find now. You see he's got 372 yards rushing. That's 4 more than the 2nd pick in the draft, running back Reggie Bush has at this point at New Orleans. Vic, of course, the runaway leader in running the ball.
I'll tell you what, he is a phenomenal athlete in the open field. His ability just to leave people in the dust.
And his confidence level way up due to the recent success. Here's a throw and a catch and a hard strike put on Casey Kramer, a tight end from Dartmouth. Helmet-to-helmet shot.
Yeah, Dante Robinson coming up, but you're seeing the defense right now. They want to make sure they keep everything in front of them here. A couple weeks ago against Buffalo, they gave up the early couple of plays, and it kind of waned on their confidence. Same thing against the Jets. Today, they don't want that to happen. Luckily, in that pass, Drew Bennett that he dropped, that was the same thing, but now you're seeing the defense, better job, keep everything in front of you. Also, they're keeping 8 men in the box to stop that run.
Ray Seals, that's the high school coach at Madison High here in Houston. who's meant so much in the development and the life of Vince Young. He's a great man, Ray Seals. And here is a throw in the flat. Looking at the ball is Bennett. Came to his wrong side and glances off his hand. And it will bring up a field goal try.
They're just trying to throw the fade. You see Bennett working against Fagan's number 38. Fagan's had some pretty good position. And what Vince Young just tried to do, you see he knew exactly what he had to do. He wanted to throw to that back shoulder because he saw the corner turn and run. And what they do, they try to throw to the back shoulder of the receiver. Cornerback can't adjust. Didn't quite get it there to Drew Bennett.
Here is Rob Baronis, who won last week's game over the Colts with that 60-yard field goal. Before that, he beat the Giants with a 47-yarder. He hits the ball up. And he angles it through. So the first points of the day belong to the Titans. A 41-yard field goal by Rob Baronis. And he'll be kicking off when we come back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. And by Sprint. Be a better fan with NFL Mobile. Only from Sprint. Power up.
Don Criqui with Richard Baldinger. Houston, Texas. A 41-yard field goal by Baronis has given the Titans a 3-0 lead. Bo Scaife getting retaped. And there's Baronis, a hero of recent games with his field goal kicking. And back deep for the Texans is the very fast Jerome Mathis, who is hampered by a hamstring, but the coaches say even at 80%, he's faster than almost everybody. Here is the ball hit down to the 6-yard line. He bobbles it. Mathis gets across the 20-yard line and then is thrown back. Impressive looking special teams tackling on both sides today. Carr go to work in a moment.
He's doing exactly for the Tennessee Titans what he did for us. He's making plays with his feet. He's showing great leadership. He's a competitor, but he's turned their whole attitude around from the first part of the season till now.
And the leadership is unbelievable. You know, he took us there with an average team, made a championship team out of them. He took UT to a national championship, and eventually going to take the Titans to one.
He ain't bad. Vince Young rising fast as an NFL player. All those doubters, but where are they now?
Yeah, they are, and the players are definitely rallying around them. And speaking with the Titans yesterday, first thing out of everybody's mouth, they said, hey, when Vince Young came in, we believed that we could win games now with him at quarterback.
I had a chance to visit with Matt Brown in New York this week, and he said, they talk about his passing motion, but he completes 68% for us. And here's a good throw to the near side. Andre Johnson, big with speed, rockets up the near sideline for a 13-yard gain. And the Texans have their first down of the day after going 3 and out on their first 2 possessions.
And here they just had linebacker matched up on him, and even Bullock, who's a great runner, he's no match for Andre Johnson in the open field. But Tennessee's rated last in this league for stopping the run. They've had struggles. I would think that Houston would try to establish that. Just it seems like once they do that, it slows up David Carr, makes him a better thrower too.
David Carr with a long count and first down. Here comes a blitzer. Carr throwing nicely on the run. He's back to Johnson, and he has another first down as he turns it upfield and to the 47-yard line of the Titans. A 15-yard gain on that play.
Yeah, David Carr getting outside the pocket, buying some time, finding your leading receiver and Andre Johnson here. He sees the blitzer. Now he gets outside, hits the check down immediately, doesn't take the sack, and that's what they want David Carr to do. They want to see that leadership because no matter what happens around you, the quarterback has to get the job done.
And when Carr's gotten the ball away, he's been good. 5 of 5 today for 43 yards. And now David Carr looks for a spot to go to. Here's a penalty marker thrown in by Parenti, the referee, from behind the play. Pac-Man Jones with some sure-handed tackling in the open field.
You got Fred Weary, the right guard, number 7, I think, on the hold that time.
Richard, you were an offensive lineman in the National Football League for 13 seasons. You know the bad feeling that comes in that.
Offense number 70. This penalty has been declined. Second down.
The Bengals off to a fast start against the Raiders. Here's JB.
As they are, Don, this is caps an 8-play, 59-yard drive. Take a look at Rudy Johnson tiptoeing his way through, slicing in there, a 9-yard run. 14-0 Cincy over Oakland. Don and Richard.
Thanks, JB. The Bengals, after 4-4 in that 3-game losing streak, all of a sudden are one of the hot teams in the league right now. Here is a pitch back to Wally Lundy. And there's not much going on for Wally there on a 2nd down and 13 play. He's cut down for virtually no gain.
Yeah, they're just on 8-man front that time. Chris Hope, the strong safety on the outside, just coming on the blitz. He turned that back inside. And they know one thing, they don't want that running game to get going of Houston. They feel like if they can keep him in 3rd and long, that's where they got David Carr, just because he hasn't shown the consistency in terms of throwing the football.
Puts pressure on David Carr to throw downfield. It's 3rd and 13. Stepping in, dumping it off. Lundy turns the corner. Guys in this league tackles so well. It's so hard to get away when somebody gets their hand on you. Cortland Finnegan, who's been an impressive rookie out of Samford.
And that time David Carr stepping up in the pocket, but you got to find that void. You have to find that space. That time he ran right up the back of his right offensive guard that time, Fred Weir. Find the open space. You can deliver the ball with more accuracy, and that's the one thing. You can be a great scrambler, but you got to have good pocket awareness, and I think David Carr getting hit so many times, he hasn't been able to do that.
Now the Texans must punt on 4th and 6. Adam Pac-Man-Jones is back. A high punt by Stanley. Pac-Man watches it hit. Takes a bounce back upfield at the Texans and is down at about the 19-yard line. Big game down in Florida. The Colts and the Jaguars. For more on back, we go back to James Brown.
Jaguars a real nemesis to the Colts, Don. Take a look here. Maurice Jones-Drew, 5th straight game with the touchdown. That's a franchise record. That one is of the 18-yard variety. 7-3. Jacksonville. Back to Don and Richard.
All right, JB. And right now we're winding down with 1 play to go in the 1st quarter. 3 seconds left. Tennessee on a 41-yard field goal by Baronis with a 3-0 lead. Young has thrown 7 times, completed 5 for 45 yards. He's run twice for 25 yards. 24-yard run really set up the field goal. Young stands in, lets a long ball go. Drew Bennett comes down with the ball. That's the Drew Bennett the Titans know well. The sure-handed one with the big gainer downfield for a 1st down, a 29-yard reception.
That is the end of the 1st quarter.
We are back to Alliance Stadium. Don Criqui with Richard Baldinger ready to start the 2nd quarter. The Tennessee Titans looking for a 4th consecutive win and a 6th win in their last 8 games if they get it today. After starting out 0-5, they had the ball again with the 3-0 lead. And they set up Vince Young on 1st down in the shotgun. This is where he likes to be. Vince Young on the rollout, casually looks. There's the long ball. Too much on it. Receiver goes down, but Brandon Jones, and now the penalty marker comes in. That's a tough call.
I'm not sure if that was a catchable pass at all, was it?
Also, I think we'll see it again, but it looked like the defender was making a move he's allowed to the ball.
Came from the back judge that call late.
This.
I thought that pass wasn't catchable at all to Brandon Jones over his head.
I think they picked that one up. Tony Corretti.
Pass interference. Defense, number 30. Automatic 1st down.
Jason Simmons is called for the foul. Vince Young was selling a penalty flag.
I'm not really sure. I guess they're saying the contact before, but is the ball catchable, though? I mean, would he been able? I think that ball was still 3 or 4 yards over, and here's the mayor, Vince Young now of Houston, politicking for it, and I guess he got his call.
Yeah, that second look, Richard, I have to say that was a foul. He knocked him down.
Well, he did, but was the ball catchable, though? Was he going to be anywhere having a chance of catching the football?
Now Pac-Man Jones is running as the I-back. He is the deep back. Pitch back to him. Takes the reverse. Good defense by the Texans. Can the Pac-Man get out of jail? Well, he's inside the 20, and he finds his way out of trouble. Oh, he was really cornered. They had him locked down. Moreland Greenwood was the guy that finally got him down after a gain of only a yard.
Yeah, Mario Williams gets upfield, and this I talked about Pac-Man Jones in the backfield. They're getting sooner, but watch Vince Young downfield, and Moreland Greenwood comes up and makes that tackle. But that's what Pac-Man Jones gives you anywhere he touches the football, folks. Goes sideline to sideline to threat to score every time.
So it is 2nd and 9 now for Tennessee. Chris Brown getting his first carry in a while. He's not played a great deal this season. Had some injury problems, and then they were really doing running back by committee. They actually had tryouts during the week, Jeff Fisher did. Then he'd activate the 2 guys that looked best during the week. But today, Lendale White, the rookie from Southern California, is out with a hip injury. So Brown is ready to go, and Fisher said Brown has been tremendous on the days that he was told he's not playing. He's a great team player.
And he has done a good job. And Houston so far doing a good job of stopping the run, and that's what Gary Kubiak was worried about.
Vince Young on 3rd down. Goes to the end zone, and the ball is broken up beautifully. The intended target was Brandon Jones, who has a touchdown catch in each of the last 2 games for Tennessee, but DeMarcus Fagan's covering well and breaking it up.
Yeah, you see Brandon Jones just going to the corner here, and this is where the ball was just thrown a little late. Difficult because Vince Young's moving around in the pocket there, but Fagan reads it, makes a jump on that break, makes a break on the route. He's able to get his hand in and knock it away.
And that brings out Rob Baronis, who hit from 41 yards on his first field goal attempt today. Looking to build the lead to 6-0. This will be a 33-yarder with Hendrick holding. Amato, the good long snapper, gives a perfect delivery. And the ball is through again. So Baronis 2 for 2, and that's been all the scoring. It's 6-0 Tennessee. Titans kick off when we come back. Coming up on the Sprint halftime report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Here at Reliance Stadium in Houston, Texas, Rob Baronis of the Titans ready to kick off. He has hit 2 field goals today, and Tennessee leads at 6-0. Mathis from the 8. Very, very fast, and he shows it now. Turns the corner to the outside and gets out across the 45-yard line. A 39-yard return gives David Carr some good field position to start. We're back to Houston. Gary Kubiak, coach of the Texans, has gone to another running back now. Lundy 2 carries, no gain. And now they're going to Ron Dane, who had a big game last week in the win. He had 83 yards rushing in the second half.
Gives you a little more explosiveness, power through the hole, able to get to the second level.
This is Ron Dane, the former Heisman Trophy winner, who was breaks it across midfield, a gain of 4 on the play.
Going behind Salam that time, and Pitts left guard. And this type of running game, brought it in from Denver, Gary Kubiak, head coach, and he wants one cut and get through the hole. No hesitation. And I think Wally Lundy a little bit is kind of hitting that wall, being a rookie, long season and everything, a little tentative in the last couple games. So I want to see Ron Dane running the football today.
The total defense numbers not good, but they're very good at scoring defense in the second half. In fact, in the last 2 games, they've held their opponents, the Colts and the Giants of the Titans, to 3 total points in the second half for each team.
Yeah, and if you're looking at Tennessee giving up 143 yards on the ground, you think it's a no-brainer. Line it up, pound it straight ahead. I talked a little bit earlier, and speaking with David Carr about this, he likes to get the running game going too. It seems to slow him up, gets him into the flow of the game better. I don't think you want to get David Carr pass happy. That's where problems take place.
Let's see what he does on 3rd down and 2. Blitzers a line. They're picked up. They go to the power dive, and linesman comes in. It's going to be short from where they're coming in. They're going to advance the ball to about the 45-yard line of Tennessee. To bring up 4th and less than a yard. And Coach Kubiak, whose team has doubled the win total of a season ago, and the Texans won only 2 games and got the first pick in the draft. They have 4 wins so far.
He would be going for it. I still remember the Jacksonville game, the end of the game, in his own territory, he went for it. Here you think he'd do the same thing.
Handoff, and they get the first down and more as Ron Dane shows a burst. A 5'10", 243-pound runner from Wisconsin. A 7-yard gain on 4th and short.
Yeah, the right guard, Eric Winston, blocking, right tackle blocking down, and then Chester Pitts, the left guard, coming through there, filling the hole. Nice little power O play, and Ron Dane getting the first down.
Now they're signaling over to the bench. We need another guy, so they send in another receiver. Eric Moulds comes in the game. This brings up a first down and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Titans. David Carr 6 of 6 throwing for 50 yards. He's been sacked twice. Short pass. It works though. Plus yards and very close to a first down as the rookie tight end Owen Daniels with his 32nd catch of the year. Taken down by Vanden Bosch.
That time David Carr setting up in the pocket, inviting the rushers up inside, and you wanted to feed a lot of pressure, throw the screens. Here he gets Salam out in front of him, hide in the center. Nice job that time, inviting the rush upfield, and Owen Daniels getting the catch, almost picking up the first down.
Daniels, a 5th-round draft choice, who's been somewhat of a surprise, a starter playing well. And here is the handoff, and they go to the power back, Ron Dane. And Jeff Fisher told us last night, we asked him how he thought the game would go. He said they're going to be pounding Ron Dane at us all day.
Yeah, and that's what Jeff Fisher was worried about, was stopping Ron Dane. They didn't want him to get going, and he gets into a rhythm. I'll tell you what, he is a powerful running back here, and a great job by Salam, the left tackle, number 74. Just driving people off the football that time against Travis LeBoy. Get holes like that done, and you'd run through there.
Don't get ahead of yourself now. Here's now a nice fake by Carr, a throw downfield, and the ball is live and almost picked off, incomplete. And now there's penalty markers down close. It could be an interference call against the Titans. It'll give a 1st and goal.
And there's the play action fake off the run as we hear the penalty. Now this is an interference.
Pass interference, defense number 28. Automatic, first down.
Lamont Thompson, the free safety, the book on him, a big hitter, but not a good coverer deep.
And there David Carr getting some time and finding Andre Johnson, showing those numbers, giving him a nice target. Here you see the release into the zone. He finds the hole here. Lamont Thompson now. That ball was catchable. That's interference.
1st and goal from the 9. Here's Ron Dane looking for a room to advance the ball, which he does for about 2 yards to about the 7-yard line. Dane, the 99 Heisman Trophy winner. Joined last night, of course, by the great runner, great quarterback from Ohio State, Troy Smith.
And you look at all the games in Houston when they can get that balance, get the running game going, and it allows just all the play action fakes. This offense just seems to just get into a total sync. If they don't do that, then they're out of sync. Right now, David Carr doing a good job of managing the offense.
This is the 8th play of the drive. Carr with a good fake, buys time, makes a throw, a connection. It's down to the 1-yard line, not in. Ron Dane makes the catch. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal from less than 2 yards out.
David
from
Carr.
1 yard away, Richard.
Yeah, he's on he's on target right now. You see the play action fake. Good job of hiding the ball that time. Just a little zone defense, and Dane just releases out of the backfield right in front of the linebacker.
68 has reported as eligible. 68.
It was interesting when we talked to David Carr. He said that Gary Kubiak now coaches him to slow down, let the pass routes develop before you throw. Said in the past he was coached to hurry and get it away quickly. Taking more time now. Here is Dane, and he's in, and the Texans have tied the game with the extra point coming up.
And you see the emotion on David Carr after the touchdown. We talked about it was going to be a pressure cooker for the young man. People were doubting his ability. But how about the hole up front? I like Fred Weary's block coming around, but everybody on the front side that time. Eric Winston, the young man, good drive block.
And David Carr, Richard, with some impressive passing numbers. A conservative game for the most part throwing the ball, but he's 8 for 8 for 65 yards. Now the extra point attempt. by Chris Brown, who hit 3 fourth quarter field goals last week in the win at Oakland. And the hometown Texans have taken the lead on the Titans 7-6. Number 36, Ron Dane, just scored his first touchdown as a Houston Texan from a yard out. In fact, in that 9-play drive, he touched the ball 8 times. As now the Texans come back from a 6-0 deficit to take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, he brings a swagger to that running game when he's there, that running back. As I said, he understands the running game. He understands what Kubiak is looking for. Coach Kubiak is looking for one cut, get through the hole, and it just seems like the offense line, everybody just comes off a lot more power when he's at the running back position.
They started Lundy. He didn't get much done, only 2 carries actually for the rookie, and then Dane, the power back, came in and running hard. He was with the Denver Broncos last season, so Gary Kubiak knows him well. And here's the kickoff now, hit downfield by Brown. Bobby Wade from the 1. 20. Turns it upfield, and he's out close to the 30-yard line. We'll see if they spot him out of bounds before that. Tonight on the finale of the Amazing Race, it's a heart-stopping race to the finish. Find out who will win the $1 million. Don't miss the Amazing Race season finale tonight on CBS. Vince Young, good numbers. He's completed 6 of 9 throws for 74 yards. And the 2 runs for 25 yards. 1 24-yard run set up the first points of the game. The 41-yard field goal by Baronis. He followed with another from 33. But now the Texans have come back to take a 7-6 lead. Travis Henry looking to go wide, and a very good open field tackle. Travis Henry is cut down by Dante Robinson, the 3rd-year corner from South Carolina. Loss of 2 yards on the play.
Yeah, Dante Robinson, I mean, he makes this play here. Mario Williams working to the backside, loses contained a little bit, but there is Dante Robinson. He's the backside corner. He knows he has to make sure he turns everything back inside. But a good job in the open field tackling of driving through with your head. Wrap him up and bring him down. Don't try to twist and turn him. Put him down on the ground.
That brings up a Vince Young time on 2nd and 12 from the shotgun. Here come the blitzers. Young dumps it off, but he misses his man on a screen. The screen was set. The pass was errant. Anthony Maddox was coming with pressure up the middle, a defensive tackle.
There was no intentional grounding as there were receivers in the area.
And I talked about, I thought they would blitz more. Here you see D'Amico Ryans coming on the blitz that time. And the one thing in talking with Norm Chow about Vince Young, he's not worried about the deep or the intermediate throws. It's the checkdowns, finding the people and making the throws. That's where he has struggled.
QB comparison so far today. High percentages and good ratings in this 1-point game. Texans in the lead. On 3rd and 12. Vince Young takes off. Turns the corner, and Young is going to be taken down short of a first down. Jason Simmons, an extra defensive back, nickel back in there, makes the play, and it'll be a punt now for the Tennessee Titans.
And you saw on that play what Houston did. Rush 2, drop 9 people. Everybody take a territory and make sure that you keep Vince Young contained. There you still saw his ability to almost break outside. That's why it takes so many people. Get your spot and cover up Vince Young quickly.
And now Hendrick ready to punt. Dexter Wynn is back deep for the Texans. Almost a block. Here's a penalty marker down. Fagans was coming off the right edge and very nearly had a punt block. Number 38, DeMarcus Fagans.
False start. Offense. Number 23. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Had they blocked the punt, it would not have gone. It would be negated by a pre-snap foul. A false start. So Hendrick drops back deeper. Hendrick in his 13th year from Notre Dame, a 2-time Pro Bowler. He can still pound a football. Tremendous leg and a very good field goal kicker if ever needed. Booming high punt. Backpedaling to his 17 for a fair catch. And a 52-yard punt and no return. And unable to return the ball on that play is Dexter Wynn. We're back to Houston. Don Criqui with Richard Baldinger. Carr has completed more passes today, 8, than he did all last week. He is today 8 for 8 for 65 yards. First down. Ron Dayne, both arms on the ball, just power football. Not even a stretch play, Richard, just running off tackle.
They're on a tackle, and 8 men in the box for Tennessee right now, but you've seen the big guys up front that time. Again, I did Hogden the center, and also Chester Pitts that time, getting some movement on Albert Hainsworth, number 92. And they've been pretty successful last drive, and now begin this one in terms of keeping Hainsworth. I'll tell you what, you've got to double team him at the point of attack.
It's Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator. And there's a big run stopper, Albert Hainsworth. They said since he's come back, there's been no easy run yards up the middle. Again, they go to Ron Dayne, who shows a burst, and he has a first down for the Texans out to the 31-yard line. A gain of 11 yards on the play. Middle backer Peter Sermon on the stop. But now the Texans are controlling the game and the clock with their run game.
Yeah, Ron Dayne gets the stats, but the fullback that time, Leach, number 44. Watch him lead through the hole. You can hear the contact to the top of this stadium. That's the type of contact you want. Take on that linebacker, and Dayne hitting the hole like a down, just heading downhill. Full speed ahead.
Ball position just across the Texans' 31-yard line on first down. Carr with a deep drop. Bought time with a good fake, and now it's off the hands on a comeback route of Andre Johnson. Talking to Jeff Fisher last night about David Carr, says people are criticizing his passing, but somebody's throwing the ball to number 80, which is Andre Johnson. He leads the league.
Yeah, he does. You take a look at Andre Johnson here, the drop. He was looking for the flag. He's just singled up on Ronaldo Hill on the outside, and he felt like he got grabbed a little bit. Should have had a flag on the play. David Carr looking for the flag too, but David Carr right now, folks, bottom line, he's getting time to stand in the pocket and throw the football.
And he now has a second down and 10 coming up. Draw play. And good run defense as Sermon, the middle backer, shed a block and made a head-on hit. Peter Sermon in his 7th year from Oregon. David Carr, who struggled mightily, albeit in a win over the Raiders last week on the West Coast. Today, he did last week. And today, already 65 yards passing.
And doing a better job of carrying the football in 2 hands, setting up. And the one thing I know about David Carr, making his drops and stopping, not drifting deeper.
Well, this is important, Richard. A third down and 10. Carr gets some time, takes a look, throws it to the near side, and right there to make the stop on Ron Dayne is Cortland Finnegan, and that will be punting down now coming up for the Texans.
They're just rolling out of the pocket. I thought he had some time, a little more time to look down the field, but again, David Carr doesn't want to make the mistake, the turnover. He hits the check down. True, it's not the first down, but also too, he doesn't want to create the turnover in terms of throwing the ball across the field. Maybe gets picked.
Pac-Man Jones now back anticipating the punt. The guys run 2 back for touchdowns this season. 2 punts, and one of them was against the Texans on October 29th. And here's the Pac-Man looking for a spot to go to. He's got a lot of moves and uses them all on that return as he gets the ball back to the 31-yard line. A 48-yard punt, a 12-yard return. Next Saturday, Tubby Smith's Kentucky Wildcats take on arch rival Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals. Then John Williamson and the Cincinnati Bearcats take on the freshman sensation Greg Oden. And the Buckeyes of Ohio State beginning at 1:30 Eastern time here on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 41. Vince Young, among other things, was a great basketball player at Madison High in Houston.
I think anything he does athletic-wise is going to be tremendous.
Played varsity 4 years and averaged over 20 points a game for his career. Also a standout baseball player. Here is Vince Young with a quick drop, a high throw, errant throw. How about Vince Young, who brought in crowds of over 40,000 to some games before rocketing the start of the University of Texas. He was a 3-year starter for the Madison Marlins, quarterback them to a 37-5 record, while having his number retired.
Pretty much could have taken him right from Madison here to Tennessee, huh?
There's the man who coached him, and Vince Young says Ray Seals has meant a lot to his life. Said he'd sit me down in his office. We wouldn't talk about football. We talk about life. He told me about the ability I have and how quickly it can just evaporate if I don't, get better deportment, get more focused. And Vince Young turned it all around and has become really a hero here in Houston.
Yeah, he has. And also, in talking about what Coach Seals said, I asked him, I said, what's the one thing in your life with Coach Seals that changed? He said, hey, when I was a sophomore, Coach Seals said I was going to become the starter of the football team. And that's when he said, you know what? Now I've got to be able to lead the streets and come out here and lead a football team.
Ray Seals, a very proud guy over his guy he mentored, Vince Young. Right now there's a player down on the field. Looks like Jason Simmons is shaken up. Simmons is up, apparently all right, being looked at on the bench. And now Vince Young and the Tennessee Titans go back on offense. Renewing play with a 3rd down and 5 coming up. 3rd and 6 where they spot the ball at the 34-yard line. And Young goes into the shotgun. He has run today just 3 times, a total of 33 yards, but 24 came on 1 run. Here's a downfield throw. And a penalty marker comes in. There's going to be a foul call on the Texans and a 1st down for Tennessee. Drew Bennett had it on his hands. That back judge was right on the play and said he was hit early.
Yeah, Fagan's number 38 is going to get the interference call.
Holding defense number 23. A 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Fagan's too, but Dante Robinson, number 23. Vince Young getting some time, delivers it in the ball.
It was close.
Called number 23.
They're going to call holding.
I think it should have been on Fagan's. Right there, the left hand, you see him got on top of the shoulder pads of Drew Bennett while the ball was in the air.
So a holding call will be a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic 1st down. Pass interference would have been a 16-yard game, but with the 5-yard holding penalty, the ball's advanced close to the 40-yard line of the Titans. 1st down. Texans lead by 1. You see 2:46 to play, 1st half. And trying to cut back. Travis Henry loses his footing.
You see that time C.C. Brown, the free safety, number 24, coming up late. He acts as the 8th man in the box, but also Lionel Dalton, number 75, up front. Good penetration on this play. He's playing that defensive tackle here. Some penetration up front. And then you see there the slip by Travis Henry.
Travis Henry told us that we all feed off what Vince Young is doing. He said when Vince Young pulls it down and runs, he said when he turns upfield, it's like a horse coming around the corner.
He's the fastest one, that's for sure.
2nd and 11. Young gets time, pump fakes, throws on the run, a strike and a 1st down. Drew Bennett, who had the early drop, now makes up for it with some good plays as the game wears on. That was a 15-yard gain and a 1st down. And we're down to the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2.
Texans on their home field holding to a 1-point lead. Don Criqui with Richard Baldinger as the eyes of Texas are again on native son Vince Young. And you get the feeling, Richard, this thing's going to come down to a long field goal at the final whistle.
Yes, both defenses are playing right now, and they're making sure they keep Vince Young cooped up in the pocket, but he's showing a lot of patience and poise so far as a quarterback.
Handoff and a run as Travis Henry actually hit in one of his own offensive blockers, but did get 5 yards. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left with 1:45 to play in the half, and as you see the clock running.
And this is where Vince Young's also been good. Both comebacks. You look at the 2-minute warning, the end of the game, doing a good job of managing on the field where to go with the football.
2nd down and 5. And now we might have a false start as there's a whistle blown, negating the snap.
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout is called.
This is their first.
They have 2 left. Of course, they have the long-range bomber. They have Barones, who hit from 60 to win last week. And there is the man, Rob Baronis. Talked to Rob before the game about his kicking technique. He told me he picks a spot like a golfer up in the stands between the uprights, and then visually brings that spot down to the crossbar.
And he was booming him out there before practice.
He was hitting it a long way. Here's Vince Young on second down, and he is sacked at midfield. Loss of 9 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd and 14, and the clock is down to a minute to play.
Yeah, Antoine Peak doing a nice job there, doing a spin move. They also incorporated a stunt that time. They closed the door, and I'll tell you what, that was an excellent stunt in terms of getting the offensive lineman on different levels. Michael Roos couldn't adjust. Antoine Peak's in for the sack.
And now even with the long-range leg of Baronis, they are out of field goal range, so it's going to be a downfield throw by Vince Young out of the shotgun. 3rd down and 14. Young rolling out, takes a look, turns it upfield, and goes out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Be a 61-yarder from there. Line of scrimmage plus 17. Hendrick is coming out. He is the punter. We don't see the field goal kicker. But I'll tell you, Hendrick, he can kick the ball a long way as a field goal kicker, and he's cleaning up his spot. Now he's just working on the field, a little groundskeeping. He's lining up to punt, and he'll be punting.
He will be punting on this one. No chances of a field goal here at this point of the game.
Hendrick steps up and hits a high punt. Beautifully done. It'll angle down inside the 10. The special teamers are there, and they down the ball at the 2. With 19 seconds to play in the half, the Texans get it back, leading by 1. Coming up on the halftime report, join JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Now we might have had a penalty marker down, Richard, at the line of scrimmage. Something went wrong.
Get the call.
Ineligible downfield prior to the kick. Offense number 49. Houston has chosen the option to replay 4th down with a 5-yard penalty.
Hoping to try to maybe get a return on this.
LeVar Woods was the guilty party. So Gary Kubiak, hoping as he gets a little bit better field position, he drops Dexter Wynn back again. Kubiak spent 20 of the last 23 years with the Denver Broncos organization. He was a great high school athlete here in Houston at St. Pius High School. He was an all-state player in 3 sports. 99, they inducted him to the Texas High School Hall of Fame. You can imagine some of the people in there with him.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he is a coach about fundamentals. He understands that quarterback position. Helped out David a lot.
And was a terrific college player at Texas A&M at quarterback. Here's the ball hit downfield. And this time, did they slap it out? No, touchback signal. So the ball apparently is going to be down at about the 5-yard line. Terrific special teams play.
Yeah, he had talked about Cortland Finnegan. Coach Jeff Fisher is one of the people, young men, rookies who's come in and made a difference. And here, you see him gets that right foot down right outside the goal line, makes it, slaps it back. Now Houston's got the ball on their own 5-yard line. Again, talking about special teams, it's all about effort. And most of these guys on special teams anyways are sandwiched short of a picnic, you know. They just run down. They'll run right through traffic if they have to.
Alan Lowry, the special teams coach for the Titans. So now David Carr and his wisdom will down the ball. And that'll do it for the first half. Vince Young in the first half, 8 of 13 throwing the ball for 93 yards. And he ran 4 times for 39. That's the end of the first half. A 1-point lead for Houston. We'll be back with a Sprint halftime report after a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint halftime report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up.
And welcome to the Sprint halftime report here in New York, Studio 43. I'm James Brown, along with my guys, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer. Let's get you caught up on first half action around the National Football League. Starting first, Baltimore and KC.
Play fake here. Pass Derek Mason on the sideline. 21-yard pickup would lead to a field goal, 3-0. The Ravens are doing a great job on Trent Green's 5 of 13, 58 yards, 2 pick. Here's the first one by Ed Reed. The ball hawk as he picks this ball up and heads up the other way. Tackled by Brian Waters. This would lead to another field goal, 6-0, and that's where we are at the half, JB, 6-0.
Chiefs have won 18 straight home games played in December, Shannon. Let's go to Oakland and Cincinnati. Boomer.
All right, Carson Palmer, 10 of 15 on the day, 134 yards, and this touchdown pass to Chris Henry, 2 interceptions. Rudy Johnson, 16 attempts, 60 yards, 1 touchdown on the ground, and here it comes. And the Oakland Raiders tack on a field goal right before halftime, 14-3, Cincinnati Bengals in the lead.
Rudy Johnson, 63 yards shy of 1,000 rush yards for his 3rd straight year. Dan, Colts, Jaguar.
And the Colts are getting run over. On the first play, Fred Taylor, he goes 76 yards. On the next play, here's Maurice Jones-Drew. He goes 18 yards, 2-play drive, 98 yards, a touchdown for Jacksonville. Then Dominic Rhodes, he gets a 3-point lead there for Indianapolis on that play. And then, whoop, here you go. Fred Taylor. He goes 21 yards. Fred Taylor in the first half, 128 yards rushing.
This is pathetic.
Wow, look at this.
Can anybody tackle?
Maurice Jones-Drew, 48 yards. Touchdown right here. Total yards rushing, 248.
Say that again.
248 yards rushing. Wow.
Wow, in the first half.
The Colts defense, they have that drug problem. They're getting drug up down one side of the field, drug back down the other side of the field.
Wow, big-time trouble.
They are in trouble. There's no question they're in trouble. Rich Gannon said it on the pregame show today. He said, listen, if you can't stop the run, you cannot win a Super Bowl in this league. We all know that, and this is obviously what's showing itself today in Jacksonville.
The average giving up 160. They're already at 88 yards over that just in the first half. They're not protecting Peyton, and so now they're in really trouble. If you can't, this is not something that you just fix all of a sudden and say, you know what, guys, we're going to fix our run problem. You don't do that, JB. They're in trouble.
They're going to go to rehab.
Trouble.
You said the halftime call cannot be what now?
Hey, come on, guys, let's pick it up.
And here comes Ben Chung. He's back home in Houston. Remember, he played at the University of Texas. He runs down the sideline for 27 yards.
Yeah, let's pick it up all right.
No score. That's right. Nothing much can happen here today. Here's Ron Dane. He's still in the league, guys. Remember him? Ron Dane, 1-yard touchdown run, 7-6. Houston Texans over the Tennessee Titans at halftime.
Titans have won 3 straight, the last 2 in dramatic fashion. Dan, let's talk Patriots and Dolphins.
Well, right here you got, Corey Dillon. He busted outside. The Dolphins are usually pretty good against the run. This is a 17-yard run for Corey Dillon. Tom Brady back to pass. The Dolphins have been putting pressure on Tom Brady. This is a sack right here by Bonnie Holiday and Jason Taylor. He's trying to get his guys going. Maybe he's yelling at them linemen, man. Give me some time to throw it, Tom Brady.
6-0 to score there. Matter of fact, is that score the same there with the Falcons and the Bucs, Shannon?
Yep, Bruce Gradkowski, middle screen to Michael Pittman, 25 yards, first down, lead to a field goal, 3-0 Tampa. Michael Vick drops back to pass. He's going to be sacked by Ronnie Lott's son, Ryan Neese. And here, Mike Vick going for it all. Picked off Phillip Buchanan in the end zone. 6-0, identical score to what you had, Dano.
Sometimes players, coaches have to overcome playmaking, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good line, Boomer. Giants, Panthers, Boomer.
All right, how about Eli Manning and Plaxico Burress? Finally, let's hook up here, fellas, and that's exactly what happens. Nice catch by Plax. He comes down with the touchdown. Here comes Chris Wanke.
Who?
Chris Wanke. It's a Drew Carter for a touchdown. 10-10. Giants are driving right now at the end of the second quarter.
Wow, might have to change his name. Dan, Eagles, Redskins.
The Eagles in that wild card hunt. Here comes Jeff Garcia. He drops back. L.J. Smith over the middle, wide open. That's a touchdown, putting them up 7-3. Then the ball bounces up in the air. Jason Campbell gets picked off by Michael Lewis. He goes down the sidelines 84 yards. That puts Philly up 14-3. Jeff Garcia then comes back, bootlegs right. Time to throw. Dante Stallworth. No, touchdown, 21-3.
Not looking good. Eagles looking to sweep the Skins for the 4th time in the past 5 seasons. Shannon.
Cut by the Detroit Lions in camp. R2 Spinner, second touchdown of the day, 14-0 Minnesota. Here, Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson's my age, JB, and I'm up here with you guys. Oh, he got in. 4-yard TD run. That was Bob on the PAT. Brad says, I want north. Jamal Fletcher said, no, you don't. I'm going the other way. And here he is. 88 yards for an INT return.
Look at that. Johnson should be up here with us.
Look at the official.
Look at the official. If he keeps going fast like that, he will.
The official stayed up with him. Did you see that?
No, I don't believe that.
It's pretty good.
But at least you don't have the AARP magazines coming to you just yet. All right, folks, second half of your games coming up after this. Yeah, they do.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint, together with Nextel. Power up. CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. Sprint together with Nextel. Power up.
Only 13 first half points have been scored in total. First 3 came off the foot of Barones from 41 yards out. 3-0 Tennessee. Then Barones would hit another one from 33 yards out, 6-0. That first one set up by a 24-yard run by Vince Young. And then Ron Dane powered in from a yard out that gave Houston the 7-6 lead with the extra point that they now hold. We'll return to Reliance Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 41. Hometown hero Vince Young back in Houston today and having a productive first half. Don Criqui with Richard Baldinger. Vince Young has 132 yards total offense in the first half, passing and running. But it is the Texans who have the touchdown and the lead.
Yeah, they do, and that's because of Carr. Mr. Carr, he came out, he did a great job managing, especially in the second quarter, and then Dane came out, and they got that running game going, and that's what they wanted to do. They can strike that balance. It makes them a better offense.
Vince getting set for his next chance, but it'll be the Texans and David Carr who have the ball first to start the third quarter of play. Texan players are telling us before the game they're looking on this as our Super Bowl.
Oh, it is. They knew the pressure of the game, and they've stepped up here in the first half.
Of course, these teams met before this season, and it was the Titans who prevailed in Nashville that day, 28-22. Here is Mathis running it back, turning wide. Both these teams with really good special teams coverage. We look, Richard, here, halftime numbers.
Yeah, you're looking at the rushing yards, and again, you talk about Vince Young, what he's brought to him also too, but for the Texans, it was Ron Dane in that second quarter finally getting that running game going. It allowed him to get that one touchdown score, and then you seem like David Carr just got more comfortable with the offense.
David Carr, a lot of short patterns, but he threw effectively, hit 9 of 10 for 69 yards. Ron Dane with a 1-yard run for the only touchdown of this game. And Dane picks right off again as Ron Dane working hard, banging off tacklers, and he drives ahead for 11 yards and a first down. Peter Sherman and Bullock were the men who finally got him down.
And we talked about the Diesel, and here he is in the first half just doing some nice things. He gets the pass reception, then in for the touchdown, and starts off here in the third quarter. Big Diesel's continue to warm up, and he's running the football well.
This is what Jeff Fisher projected would happen. They'd be sending Ron Dane at our defense all day, and that has been the story. Here's Ron Dane again, and Dane looking like he did at Wisconsin in '99 when he led the nation, actually set an all-time NCAA rushing record. Now at the Heisman Trophy.
I can't have enough good words for Leach, the fullback. Watch number 44. Watch the kick-out block. Ron Dane sees it, and he makes that cut. And then how about also Chester Pitts, number 69, the backside. Keep moving, and that block on Hainsworth allowed Dane to make the cutback.
This is basic football 101. They keep running, Richard, these fullback leads. Here's another one. Run until they stop it.
Just keep going with it. Dial it up, pound on those defensive people, and what does it do? It takes the life out of the legs of those defensive linemen. They don't want to rush the football as much. I'll tell you what, after by the fourth quarter, they don't want to step up in front of that Diesel Dane either, try to tackle him.
They got him down that time for a gain of only about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. But the Texans holding to a 1-point lead. This could be a quick second half. Vince Young checking the scoreboard and the clock, waiting to get back in there. But right now, David Carr with a controlled running offense. Now Carr play fakes. Here come the blitzers. Carr eludes it. Lids another one and dumps it off nicely to his tight end. And Owen Daniels sprints the far sideline for a first down.
And David Carr, we were ready to jump all over him here. He gets the pressure and he works outside of the pocket, but he's showing his speed and elusiveness in the open field too. Here he come with the blitz, and then Travis LeBoy, and watch David Carr pick his feet up, and then he finds Owen Daniels, and that's a great job by the tight end. You'd love to see this, and this is what I want to see at David Carr today. That leadership, and he's done a great job so far today.
He did a great job there, David Carr, as that play was good for 15 yards. All to the 36-yard line. Ron Dane. And they're just beating him with power football. The offensive line of the Texans really coming off the ball with Salam and Winston at the tackles, Pitts and Wary at the guards, and Hodgson at the ball at center.
But just watch the amount of yards he gets after contact here. He's just going behind Hodgson in the center and also Wary. You see the cutback? Now, watch it. Here's the contact. Let's count it. 2, 3, 4, 5 extra yards, and it's taken the whole state of Tennessee to bring him down.
Nice play call now. It's 2nd and 1. They go right back and look to get the first down, and it's Lundy in the game. They change it up, a little more speed, a little less power, and Lundy breaks it down to the 15-yard line before the Pro Bowler Keith Bullock gets him out of bounds, but it was an 11-yard gain for the Texans.
No, I love it. As an old offensive lineman, folks, I love to see it get up there, pound on people, helmet on helmet. Wally Lundy, good job of vision, keeping balance. Keep your shoulder pads over your knees. You can make that cut back. Good job by Wally Lundy picking up the first down.
The ever dangerous wide receiver Andre Johnson is wide to the top of your screen. More run plays, and Lundy is taken down to the 15-yard line. I think he's back in there just because they want to give a breather to Ron Dane, who's been pounding.
Yeah, and that time they had an over defense. That time they shift the defensive line over to tight end side, bring the strength there, get everybody through a gap that time. Wally Lundy couldn't quite find an opening. No gain on the play. Let's see now with David Carr maybe on the boot pass. He's effective in running the football. It opens up all that play action.
2nd down arises. 2nd and 10. Play fake. Out pattern. Nicely executed. Penalty marker is down as Vontae Leach, the fullback, makes a nice hands grab and turns it up the sideline down to the 5-yard line, but a marker is down back at the 17-yard line.
Somebody for legal use of hands, and I think it might be Chester Pitts, number 69, the left guard on this.
Wally Lundy did a terrific job.
There is no foul for legal hands to the face. Result of the play will stand.
Great
first down.
Blitz blocking by Lundy on that play.
You know, Wally Lundy just working outside here, steps aside, and look at the cut he gets on Kyle Vanden Bosch. Vanden Bosch is looking for the first person, and Lundy comes underneath and hit Leach on the little flood pattern coming out of the backfield. And you got to give some love to your fullback. I'll tell you something, we've been talking about Leach. He's been in a car wreck every play. Yeah. Give him some yardage.
Now they go to the power back. The I back is Ron Dane. On 1st and goal. Dane driving close. He's down to about the 2-yard line. Takes a lot of tacklers to offset the power of Ron Dane and get him down.
Yeah, no doubt Gary Kubiak. We understand what the adjustment was. Just dial up the running game, and I'll tell you what, the big boys up front are getting it done. Watch Leach on the lead.
Number 68 has reported as eligible.
Oh, it is basic football.
Look at that hit on Peter Sherman, the middle linebacker.
Man.
He kind of melted. He crushed him.
Ron Dane again, the I back. Extra tight end. Ron Dane, he goes in, and it's a touchdown for the Texans as they build the lead now to 13-6.
Yeah, and it's so important in that play. It's so simple. Guys on the front side got to do a good job of blocking down, sealing your man. It allows that pulling guard Chester Pitts to easily come around, lead the way for Ron Dane into the end zone. Watch the front side, Eric Winston, Bruner the tight end. I mean, look at that hole. I mean, that's I-45 heading up to Dallas. Dane's in for the touchdown.
John Benton, the offensive line coach, has some great schemes working here. And here now is the extra point hit up and good. It is a 14-6 game. Ron Dane has scored both touchdowns in this game. Ron Ron Dayne, 2 scores today, his first multi-touchdown day since he was with the Giants 4 years ago, back in 2002. He scored 2 touchdowns in the game, and here now is the kickoff. Bobby Wade from the 2. 20, and Wade works his way to the 33-yard line on a 31-yard return. Now Vince Young needing to put something on the board. He'll be going to work when we come back to Houston. Jeff Fisher told us one of the big positives in the development of Vince Young is that he now knows he can run at this level in the NFL. A lot of people doubted he could take his game that he ran for the Texas Longhorns to the next level, but he can run. He's run well today. Here's a throw and a catch. Drew Bennett with those sure hands had the early drop inside the 20, but now he's come back making plays. That's good for 11 and a first down.
Yeah, Vince Young, and this time you've seen the ISO on Drew Bennett. So you can work the quick out. And again, Dante Robinson, tight coverage, but he's got to make sure, though, he stays a little bit inside because he doesn't have safety help. That time he brought a blitz from Houston. See Norm Chow. But Vince Young doing a good job seeing the blitz and making the throw.
Young now is 9 of 14 throwing the ball for 104 yards. But the Titans are without a touchdown. Once again, Vince Young takes a look, arcs the ball downfield. Nicely done. Another first down. Gets the ball to Brandon Jones, who's becoming somewhat of a go-to guy with a touchdown catch in each of the 2 previous games. That was good for 17.
Yeah, again, he's getting some time in the pocket. I like the way his eyes are now looking around the field. You can see that. You see his helmet moving. He's not locking on one receiver. Here he finds Brandon Jones on the comeback, and a nice throw that time. Again, it's not the deep throws he's having trouble with the accuracy. It's just the short checkdowns.
And the QB comparison shows some impressive completion numbers. Carr working with a short throw game, but he's 11 of 12. We were here when he completed 22 straight to tie an NFL record, but it was in a loss to Buffalo. Here's a throw and a catch. Protecting the ball nicely is Ben Hartsock, a big fullback from Ohio State. The Colts having problems at Jacksonville. Here's JB.
Hey, Don, strong run you just showed. Take a look at this one here. Opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville keeps it going. Maurice Jones-Drew. Can anybody tackle this guy? Don, he goes 93 yards to pay dirt. It is 31-10. Jags over the Colts. Back to Don and Richard.
Former UCLA Bruin. I tell you, the Colts coming off that last second loss against the Titans a week ago. They haven't recovered.
No, they haven't. And stopping the run has always been a problem for Indianapolis, and it poses to be another problem today.
They started 9-0 for a second straight year, did the Colts, but since then they've tailed off badly. As you look at the playoff picture, the Colts, San Diego, Baltimore, New England would appear to be in great position.
Jets are in good position too. Seems like what they have in terms of their record or on the schedule allows them an easy step into the playoffs.
6, 7, and 5 teams at the moment vying for the last 2 spots. Handoff as a penalty marker is thrown. They've done a good job defending Travis Thomas. But now he breaks tackles, gets inside the 20. And if the play goes, it'll be good for 14 yards.
And Travis Henry, you see at the end of the run. As we hear the penalty, we're going to have some motion on the play.
Illegal formation, offense. The offensive team presented an illegal formation with number 76 as the end man on the line of scrimmage. By rule, this is a foul, 5 yards. Repeat, 3rd down.
Yeah, just watching Travis Henry. You see Jeff Fisher complaining about the call, but watch Travis Henry on his run. Not only is it good balance, but watch the stiff arm as it comes out. Very powerful. And see how he times it? He gets people right in the chops every time with it. Very hard to bring them down.
So on the penalty, the ball is set back to the 37-yard line of the Texans. Houston leading the Titans 14-6. Vince Young, 11 of 16 throwing for 131 yards. He's run 4 times for 39 more. Crowd kicks in. Young, straight drop, long ball. He's got a guy, and it's broken up beautifully. DeMarcus Fagans, for a second time today, seemingly beaten on a play, recovers to break it up.
And also, too, Shante Orr, number 53, came on the outside, and that's why Vince Young couldn't make this throw. Again, he had the receiver open on the post. See how he got hit just as he threw that ball? That's why he couldn't lead his receiver that time in terms of making that catch.
Fagans coming off a big game a week ago when he had a 58-yard fumble return for a touchdown on the Raiders' first possession. Hendrick to punt. Hits it from the 47 of the Texans. Special teamers are down there, and they'll down the ball at the 8-yard line. So the Texans get the ball back, holding a 14-6 lead. .5:58 to play, third quarter. Houston Texans were down early 6-0, but Ron Dayne's 2 touchdowns have given them a 14-6 lead. Here's a handoff as he goes to the 13-yard line, Ron Dayne. And he's out to the 13. Second down and 6.
Houston coming right out again and running the football.
Yeah, it's a game plan is pretty basic. David Carr takes a drop back to the 2, and he airs it out. Overshoots his tight end, Owen Daniels, who has 5 touchdown catches this year as a rookie. David Thornton is covering on the play, but the powerful arm of David Carr, too much on the throw.
Yeah, against that 8-man front, you're looking to maybe get that tight end deep now. Here you see Owen McDaniel just going against David Thornton, just trying to get some separation. David Carr really didn't have a chance to maybe put all the accuracy on that. He felt Stark's pressure coming. Sometimes it's not always the hit. Just knowing you're going to get hit takes away some accuracy from the quarterback.
That brings up third down, and they need 6. Here is Ron Dayne, and he crosses the 15-yard line, so the Titans get a defensive stand. They stop the Texans, and now the Titans in position to possibly get good field position with a return.
Trying to take some chances down the field. He gets a one-on-one with the tight end. David Carr not able to do it. Tried to come out with the running game. But you're right, though, a big stop by Tennessee's defense after getting taken to the woodshed at the start of this half.
Bullock with a stop. Pac-Man Jones back for the Titans to return the punt. Here he is, Pac-Man Jones, and another outstanding special teams coverage led by C.C. Brown, the free safety. So Vince Young with good personal numbers, but still trying to get the ball in the end zone as his team trails by 8. We're back to Reliance Stadium, Houston Texans, where the Texans are leading the Titans 14-6. 4:30 to play in the third quarter. And again, they strike hard on Travis Henry. Anthony Weaver, defensive end, got the hit. Which is the greatest Super Bowl team of all time? Log on to NFL.com/America's Game and vote for your choice now.
These guys up front for the defensive line for Houston, Lionel Dalton, Anthony Weaver, and Maddox. Everybody doing a good job up front in terms of staying at home, filling the gap, making a play.
Henry, 9 carries, just 30 yards, running the ball today for Tennessee. Vince Young buys time with a good fake, lets a long ball fly. That's Bennett out there, and Bennett comes down with the ball down to the 21-yard line. Terrific catch by Drew Bennett. A 39-yard gain.
How about this deep pass by Vince Young? Just a flick of the wrist. Working against Dante Robinson there, Drew Bennett. Again, one-on-one. He's going to work the corner now.
It's all over him. He still catches it.
A nice release by Drew Bennett. Doesn't have the greatest speed, but knows how to create separation.
Well, he's creating numbers too, Richard. 5 catches for Bennett for 98 yards. Here's a dump off over the middle. And the ball is taken inside the 15-yard line by Travis Henry, who is stopped by linebacker Moreland Greenwood. A gain of 6 on the play.
And just on that play there with Vince Young, just this little throw, the check thing. Again, that's somebody not panicking in the pocket, seeing he doesn't have the deep throw, so I'll hit my check down. And that's been the difficult thing for him, seeing the whole field. Today, though, he's done a better job of it.
But as the coach will tell you, it's tough to win with field goals in this league. Titans have to get the ball in the end zone, and the Texans have done a great job keeping them out. Henry stretches it to the far side and gets inside the 10. D'Amico Ryans makes the stop, but there is a gain of 6 yards on the play.
Running that stretch play, you got to keep running sideways, stay on your feet. Travis Henry, take a look at it, stay on your feet. He's following Ruse, and he makes that cut right inside. He beat Fagans for that time, the cornerback who was coming up trying to turn it back inside. But that's the quickness and acceleration of Travis Henry.
So now it is a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line for the Tennessee Titans. Henry turns it up. He's going in. Touchdown Tennessee, and they're back in it.
And that time too, Jason Simmons, the free safety, lost contain on that play, but that's what Travis Henry will give you. Start up inside, make the linebacker step up, think you go in there, and then he bounces it outside. Take a look at it again. Starts, it looks like it's an ISO action. Now watch him jump outside. Excuse me, that's Fagans, number 38, slipped on that play. He has contained. He's got to be able to make that tackle.
And the big Marine, Ahmad Hall, a guy who was in the U.S. Marine Corps for 4 years and started for the Texas Longhorns in their national championship year. Last season, 27-year-old rookie. He had a lead block there that was a crusher. And now the extra point attempt. Driven up and through. And so the Titans get their first touchdown of the day, and it's a 1-point game. The Texans in the lead. Tennessee kicks off, and we come back to Houston. Travis Henry just scoring his 6th touchdown of this season. A 9-yard run, and it brings the ball game back to a 1-point game. The Texans ready to get the ball back, holding to a 14-13 lead with a lot of time to go. 1:49 left to play. Rob Barones with 7 points today, 2 field goals and the extra point. And there is the dangerous return man, Jerome Mathis. Ball is taken by an up man at the 16-yard line. And good coverage. They had Lundy up there who took it and ran it back. Tonight on 60 Minutes, it's violent, bloody, and full of action. So why do Americans love ultimate fighting? We just told you. Followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Cold Case, and Without a Trace. Tonight on CBS, America's #1 network. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, our producer today for CBS Sports is Ross Schneiderman, director Chris Fenson. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Tony Petitti. We have 1:44 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Texans, who were beaten October 29th at Nashville by the Tennessee Titans, holding to a 1-point lead. A good throw by Carr. Very under control offense here, Richard, looking at the short routes and throwing strikes.
Yeah, he is throwing strikes. He's getting some time. He's getting rid of the football. And again, if you watch him set up, as soon as that back foot hits the ground, he throws underneath. Now, that time, I thought he was a little bit too soon with the pass. He had Owen Daniels wide open over the middle. That's where you've got to see the field a little bit more. But you know what? When you've been hit as many times as David Carr has, it's difficult to have confidence.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Carr. The fans here are getting they're getting nervous. This is his 5th year. He was given a contract extension. An option was picked up in February, an $18 million 3-year extension. So at that point, Vince Young was off the Texans draft board. Now a timeout. David Carr, number 8 for the Texans, has thrown 14 times, has completed 12 today for 98 yards. Ron Dane has been a force. He's run 18 times for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here's Carr. They give him time. Stands in. A high throw. And an open field tackle done nicely by outside backer David Thornton on Ron Dane. Thornton had 15 tackles against the Colts, his former team, last Sunday.
Finds Ron Dane, but I tell you, you can really find out about David Carr, how he performs. Is I have yet to see Gary Kubiak yell at him on the sidelines. I mean, last week after the Oakland game, I thought he was just going to take him outside and give him a butt whooping right then and there.
Yeah, Gary was not in good humor sometimes on the Friday practice.
No, he wasn't. And I don't know if we can go into exactly the plays that were called and everything, because
this is a third down coming up. Carr with a slant throw, collision, no penalty. They rule it was timed properly. Eric Moles looking for a flag, but none forthcoming. And so for a second consecutive possession by the Texans, the Titans stop him and force a punt.
It looked like an early collision to me, but again, the reason why having to throw the ball, we'll take a look at it here. And that was pretty blatant. Ronaldo Hill took Eric Moles right off his feet.
And there is Pac-Man Jones. Jeff Fisher says we've got to find ways to get the ball in his hands as much as we can. He's a starting cornerback, but he is a threat every time he touches the ball, and they've been playing him from scrimmage sometimes today. On the offensive side, here is a return and another superb special teams coverage by Charlie Anderson.
Also Antoine Peak, but when you get hang time like that, it allows your coverage people to get down the field, break down, and not give Pac-Man any chance.
Coming next, Jay Cutler and the Broncos go against LaDainian Tomlinson and the Chargers, or the Bills take on the Jets. Check local listings. That's here on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 41. Peak shaken up. Right now, he's on the sideline as the Texans send their defense out, which was so effective earlier, holding the Titans without a touchdown until their last drive.
Vince Young big on that drive. This time the big throw to Drew Bennett.
Long count for Young. They go to the run. Cutback run. Travis Henry runs to the 30-yard line. Got about 6 yards on the play. That'll do it for 3/4 of play. Can Young bring his team back again today?
That is the end.
Now for a message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. They're hitting hard in Houston today. Right now, the Tennessee Titans with their rookie quarterback Vince Young, who's directed them to 3 straight wins, taking their first 4-game win streak since the 2003 season, the Titans' last playoff year. Finished 12-4 that season in the regular season, and now they try to throw the ball, and
Ahmad Hall,
he wasn't ready for it.
He wasn't.
Fullback.
Set up for it. I'll tell you what, this has got to be easy for him on Sunday afternoons after being in the Marine Corps, being in Kosovo, also Afghanistan.
He had 75 Marines under him and went to Texas as a walk-on and ended up Mac Brown put him on a scholarship. He ended up starting for the national championship team.
He's done a great job coming out and run blocking, knocking people off their feet.
Talk about his leadership, just being around the team. He's an asset, and he's played some terrific blocking fullback. Now it's third down though. And here is Vince Young, loses his footing, gets it back, throws downfield, and he is picked off. He goes to Bennett. DeMarcus Fagans has the ball where they spotted at the 42-yard line of Tennessee.
Yeah, Fagans made a jump on that. And Vince Young, you saw him, he slipped in the pocket. Then he gets hit on the blitz. And he comes away with the interception. DeMarcus Fagans down on the ground.
No, a man is down, and a big play by DeMarcus Fagans. And the Texans have the ball back in good field position when we come back. Back to live action. The Texans, after the turnover, the interception by Fagans, now run the ball. Ron Dane has been the go-to runner. Fagans intercepted, then he took a hit and was a long time getting up, but seems to be okay.
Yeah, here you see him on the coverage against Drew Bennett. Again, the ball's thrown a little bit behind Drew Bennett. DeMarcus Fagans makes the play, but look how far his neck. He took the helmet right to the back of the head that time, and I didn't think he was going to get up, but he did.
Fagan's a fifth-year corner from Kansas State having a big day. He's made some beautiful pass breakups. Here's a long ball. Carr airing it out. Incomplete at the goal line. Andre Johnson had it and lost it. Hey, surprising things happening down in Florida. Patriots not having a great day. Here's JB.
Hey, Don, here's one that wasn't lost. Take a look at Joey Harrington play action for Miami. On the move, hooking up with Marty Booker. Seam route, 32-yard strike, 13-0 Dolphins on top of the Patriots. Start of the fourth quarter. Back to Don and Richard.
Thank you, JB. A very big surprise, although the Patriots in recent years have had some problems against the Dolphins in Florida.
Joey Harrington doing the job down there in Miami.
He's really picked up his play since going there from Detroit. Now a throw over the middle to tight end Jeb Putzier, who was with Gary Kubiak in the Broncos last year. And the Giants in Carolina. Scoreboard change, and here's JB again.
It has indeed changed, Don, and Eli Manning key with this one here as he hooks up with David Tyree back of the end zone, 3-yard strike, third touchdown of the day for Manning. Sixth time Eli has 3 touchdowns in a game. 27-10 Giants. Don and Richard.
Okay, JB, the Giants, after that 4-game losing streak, now looking right back in playoff contention. There's a 9-7 is going to get you in the NFC.
Yeah, over there, and Dallas with Tony Romo, the way he's doing down there in Dallas, Giants needed that victory. They need a victory today to stay right in the hunt.
David Carr, a very conservative passing game, schemed by the head coach Gary Kubiak. Carr has thrown the ball 18 times, completed 14 for only 109 yards, but he's not turned it over. And then they've gone to the power run. A very conservative, well-executed offense. Ron Dane has been a big part of it. Now Carr again looks downfield. Penalty marker's thrown as Carr gets out of the tackle box, sees nobody open, throws the ball away.
Yeah, they got Leach, number 44, on the hold. Monte Leach, the fullback. He gets the takedown.
Here's Tony Correnti. And that is the signal against the Texans, who come in this day with a record of 4-8.
He was going against Vanden Bosch that time, the fullback. Monte Leach, take a look at him. Step aside. Good job of stepping up. I'm not really sure if Kyle Vanden Bosch just didn't slip. You see Leach kind of just ran by him, and he slipped when he did. But again, referee sees your hands outside the framework of the body. The flag is coming out.
Holding offense number 55. This penalty has been declined. Illegal forward pass number 8 threw the ball from beyond the line of scrimmage. This penalty requires a loss of down, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Those are expensive. Illegal forward pass over the line of scrimmage, a loss of down, and a 5-yard mark off.
I'm going to get Carr, David Carr, past the line of scrimmage on this throw. He was. Good call. That was Hodgson, the center, number 55, who had that holding call. A beat with an arm under move. Still, hey, protect your quarterbacks. Number one thing you have to do as an offensive line.
Texans coming off a win last week at Oakland, 23-14, in which they forced a number of turnovers. Forced 5 Raider turnovers. And now they doesn't get anything much to speak of, and out comes Chris Brown. Try a long field goal.
It looked like they had it trying to hand off here, and Don Dane slips a little bit. So it puts them behind in terms of timing on the play. That's why the penetration was able to get to the backfield for no gain. Play for no gain.
This, of course, if good from 49 yards, would give a 4-point advantage to the Texans, meaning that Tennessee would need a touchdown. And Chris Brown powers it through. He hit 3 field goals in the fourth quarter against the Raiders last week. And Jeff Fisher and his guys know they're up against it now, but still a lot of time left. The longest field goal of the season by Chris Brown, a 49-yarder, has built the Texans lead to 4 points, 17-13. There is Wade ready to return the kickoff for Tennessee. Well hit ball. Deep into the end zone, and Wade will bring it out from 2 yards deep. He can run fast. And he gets it all the way out. Now a penalty marker comes in from the referee from behind the play, which would indicate a blocking foul on the return. Chris Taylor was on the special teams tackle.
During the return of the kick, holding receiving team number 49. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Poor field
Woods
again.
Called for holding.
And just take a look at Vince Young. You know, everybody talks about his mechanics, but I'll tell you what, running the football, he is something special. He's made the deep throws today. They're saying he's got to improve on his touch. I'm going to tell you what, here's the interception. Got to learn how to eat the football on that play. Don't toss it up, but that's a young man learning. But I'm telling you what, when he does improve on his mechanics, he is going to be something really special in the National Football League.
Well, he's been special this year late in games when he had to bring his team back. We'll see if he can do it today. They go to the run to Travis Henry as they have the long field to go now to the Tennessee Titans, needing a touchdown, down by 4.
And watch for Houston to keep 8 men up here on this, trying to keep Tennessee backed up in their own end. See what Vince Young can do. And again, when you need him the most at the end of the games, that's when he's been scary. Poised in the pocket, able to hit the deep throws.
Titans have turned it over twice today. Remember the long play by Ahmad Hall, then the ball was stripped from him. Here's a draw play, and sprinting out to the 21-yard line, just short of a first down. Interesting play call. Travis Henry with a good burst, taken down by the free safety, C.C. Brown.
Yeah, they only have 5 men in the box, and the reason why is because you have a spread offense. Take a look at it. You've got man on the outside here, and you look at the spread offense. You have 5 men in the box here. Let's go ahead and run it, and that's the reason why they went ahead with the draw play. But C.C. Brown, he makes the tackle and saves the big play.
Big play now. It's 3rd down and 2 for the Titans, who trail by 4 in the 4th quarter. Vince Young calls his own number, and he has the first down, albeit by about a foot. But Vince Young, and apparently on a call play, almost a down the line option look, tucks it in, takes it ahead, and Jeff Fisher says we move on. Yeah. The chain markers do.
And we talked about this is a man who can move the chains, but this is the effect that Vince Young gives you. You might want to put up 8 or 9 men in the box, but you know what? Vince Young is such a good runner. You're going to have to put one guy on him. It's right then and there. Takes the handoff, little option play, picks up the first down.
So Young with the run gets his team a first down. Texans bring a lot of people up. Jam in the box. Young drops. Takes a look. Throws and connects to his fullback, Ahmad Hall. Ahmad Hall said, I told the guys to be patient with Vince. Once it clicks, watch out. It's clicking now, he said during the week. And the Texans trying to stop a team with a 3-game winning streak in Tennessee.
And you talk about the poise and his just ability to stand in the pocket, see the field, 6'5". That time not panicking at all, just find that little boy to step up and make the throw. There he does. Finds his receiver on the outside.
See the 179 yards passing. Last possession, and here is a give to Henry. Last possession he was intercepted. And now with a lot of time left, they run their base offense. 9:14 left to play in the game.
Time running behind Dave Stewart. They call him Big Country, number 76. Getting some movement on that side. Travis Henry threw for the first down.
It's interesting what D'Amico Ryans was saying to us, Richard, about you can't go for the kill shot against Vince Young. You just have to try to wrap him up and get him down.
Yeah, it's too strong. As I said, he leaves people in the fog out in the open field. You think you see him, then he disappears.
They talk even as a rookie about the supreme confidence he exudes in the huddle. Here's Young. Pass ball downfield. Bennett out to the 48-yard line, coming back at the well-thrown ball for an 14-yard gain. And the Titans drive on, down by 4 with a first down of the 48.
Yeah, Vince Young getting time in the pocket. Up front, the big men are doing the job. They're giving him that throwing lane. And here on the curl route to Drew Bennett, you saw Dante Robinson, number 23, slipped a little bit. Bennett gets that separation for the grab, and again for the first down. And Again, Vince Young has got this offense moving in the right direction.
Mixing the run and the pass. Texan defenders so wary that when Vince Young sets up the throw, he could pull it down and take off. Pump fakes, throws a fastball. It's almost picked off. Live ball was up. It caromed off the hands of Hartsock. D'Amico Ryans is there to help break it up.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about he wanted to go with that. You saw a little bunch formation on the right side. He had a shoot route coming out, throw the out pattern, throwing it back across the middle. Take a look at it. He's throwing it right into near Charlie Anderson, number 50. And you know what? That's where Vince Young's got to be a little quicker. He thinks people open, but in pros, it closes a lot quicker than it does in college.
It was the Texans defense and special teams that won the game last week. Now they have to try to stop Young. He dumps it off, and breaking tackles and getting to the 50-yard line for a short gain is Travis Henry, but Jason Babin knocked him down.
Who else was in on that play? Number 98, Antoine Peak. He has a sack today, some plays on special teams. He's done a great job at defensive end position also.
And now another critical down, and difficult yardage arises. Third down, and Jeff Fisher's Titans need 9. Crowd really kicking in here at Reliance Stadium. Young in the shotgun. His team down by 4. They send blitzers. Young lets a long ball go and makes the connection. Beautifully taken in by Brandon Jones. So on a long yardage play needing 9, they hit for 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, they bring the blitz on the outside. They don't get there, and then working against Dexter Wynn, number 25. Brandon Jones again doing a good job coming back. Watch the route. Watch the catch, and then works on the outside. And again, you see Dexter Wynn kind of turned around, and he tripped a little bit over his feet, so he couldn't get back on the same level with the receiver. Brandon Jones with a big catch on the outside.
Jones, a second-year receiver from Oklahoma. And the Titans under pressure, moving the ball down by 4. This is Chris Brown, and he takes it inside the 20 and all the way down inside the 15-yard line, knocked out of bounds at the 14. A 21-yard run from scrimmage.
Yeah, Eugene Yamano, the right guard, and also Dave Stewart, big country. Look at it, the point of attack, and Hartsock getting a flat back, and Chris Brown just kind of gliding through the hole there. 21 yards for the first down. Tennessee's offense clicking on all cylinders right now.
Tennessee needing a touchdown to go in front, down by 4. Still a lot of time left. They should score, and the Texans get the ball back. Young. They get him. Loss on the play back to the 22-yard line. N.D. Kalu, who played collegiately here in Houston at Rice University, is the first to get there.
Yeah, N.D. Kalu,
94.
He comes on the rush, excuse me, Don, but he's doing a good job of staying at home. Watch N.D. Kalu from the outside. He comes up the field and makes sure he closes the door, doesn't allow Vince Young to scoot outside at all. It's a good job of getting to a spot and breaking down. He doesn't make that tackle. Vince Young's going to step up and run for a long way.
That was a big stop. It was for a loss of 9, bringing up second down and 19. All of the Texans 23. To the run, breaking tackles and spinning down inside the 10-yard line is Travis Henry. The last line of defense, the free safety, C.C. Brown gets him down, but it was a 15-yard gain.
Yeah, and look at the first contact, and then watch how many yards afterwards, and that's on the backside, the strong safety, Glenn Earl, number 26. Listen, it's 8 men in the box. You've got to fill that backside gap. He doesn't make the tackle, and again, the power and the balance. Travis Henry, number 20. Another big game.
So now it's 3rd and 4 at the 8-yard line for the Titans. Down by 4. Here come blitzers. Vince Young on the run, turns the corner. Takes it in himself, and Vince Young runs for a first down. He's out of bounds at the 3-yard line. He had to get to the 4. And it's a first down and goal to go.
He is something else. No defensive lineman can catch him. Watch him take a look on the outside. Nothing downfield. You see Jason Babin. Sorry, buddy, you don't have a chance. And Vince Young, though, wisely steps out of bounds. And again, avoid those big hits. Save your body.
Young, 6 runs today, almost 8 yards a rush, 6 carries, 47 yards. On 1st and goal, the crowd kicks in. Texans D digs in. Hand off. And a good stop of Travis Henry as he tries a slant power run left. And C.C. Brown, the safety, comes up to fill and make the hit.
Yeah, he did, but the one person on that play, Lionel Dalton, gets some penetration doing his job.
Vince Young told us when we met with him last night that 4th quarter comebacks are where you define yourself as a player. Now, this has been a long drive. This is the 15th play of the drive coming up for the Titans. It started at their 12.
He said he liked watching John Elway and Michael Jordan smile while they did it.
That's right, he did. Young hands off, and Travis Henry goes in. And the Titans take the lead with 3:53 to play. And now the pressure swings to David Carr.
And Travis Henry goes in basically untouched. And again, this has all started with Vince Young managing the offense. And again, look at the block that time by Kevin Mawai, the center, doing a great job. That was a slant that time by Lionel Dalton, number 75. Kevin Mawai uses his momentum against him. Travis Henry reads it, makes a little cut behind his center into the end zone for the touchdown.
Travis Henry with 2 touchdowns today. Now Barones with a point after try. He knocks it through, and 3:53 left to play in the game. Texans will get it next. Will they get in position for a field goal, try to send it to overtime? Will they go for 6? Number 20, a former Tennessee Volunteer, now a Tennessee Titan with 2 touchdowns today. Travis Henry delivering the goods. He's run 18 times for 86 yards. That was a 15-play, 88-yard drive engineered by Vince Young. He used up over 8 minutes on the clock. Now the kickoff comes downfield. Coming up on it, Mathis. And he gets out to about the 33-yard line. And now David Carr is first a penalty marker down. That's way back where the ball was kicked off. Might have been an offside.
Probably from that point, yeah, definitely offside. Let's see now if we can keep the wheels on David Carr.
Well, they'll decline and take 5 yards. With 5 yards added onto the return.
Offside, kicking team. The penalty will be assessed from the end of the run after the kick. 5 yards, first down.
So David Carr, now can he bring his team back as Vince Young just did? We'll find out in a moment. Now we're at Reliance Stadium, the home of the Houston Texans. And they're under the pressure gun now as we have the ball spotted at their 38-yard line just across it. A field goal ties. They're down by 3 after a brilliantly executed drive by Vince Young to bring Tennessee from behind. David Carr takes a look. Here comes the pressure. Carr turns the corner. There's a penalty marker down in the secondary. A receiver could have been held. And we'll see what this call is. Texans have 2 timeouts remaining.
Holding, defense number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Ronaldo Hill defending on the play. Yeah. And he was holding Andre Johnson, which is a good way to cover him. That's about the only way you can.
It's the only way you can. Take a look at him. He's singled up one-on-one with him.
There is an adjustment of the penalty enforcement.
How about the balance on the sidelines there by Andre Johnson?
Illegal forward pass, offense number 8, beyond the line of scrimmage at the time of the pass. By rule, these penalties will offset. Replay, first down.
When did that flag come out? We only saw the one down the field.
Yeah, there was one downfield.
Line of scrimmage right at the 41-yard line. Let's see if David Carr crosses that when he makes this throw. Ooh, that's close. That flag had to come out late.
Here's a 1st and 10 throw. They crush the pocket. Throw is made, and the coverage is there. Johnson coming back at the ball and quickly hit by Finnegan and Hill. A 4-yard gain on the play.
And Chris Brown warming up on the sidelines. One thing I'd say about the offensive line for Houston, better job of protecting today, but the one thing, more aggressive. Once he made contact, don't let him collapse that pocket. Widen it out a little bit. Give David Carr some time. Keep that throwing lane so he can make those throws down the field.
He hit a season-long 49-yarder today. Chris Brown was hitting from over 50 in warm-ups. That's a whole different ball game. Here's a long ball downfield, and coming down with the ball is Andre Johnson. A beautiful pass-catch execution. David Carr to Johnson. A 20-yard gain.
Nothing short and sweet. Watch him on the outside. Andre Johnson one-on-one. And then how about the way he can stop? And when you walk by this man, Andre Johnson, the physical build and the size, but his ability to just be able to do things like that in the open field, quite amazing.
Chris Brown, the veteran from Nebraska, is strong of leg. His career long is a 55-yarder. All of the 36. With a first down and still a lot of time left. 3:22 left to play. And apparently there's the red flag. A challenge from Jeff Fisher.
Whether or not he came down in bounds. Andre Johnson, 2 feet.
Tennessee is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass.
Well, it was right in front of Fisher.
Again, we're looking at Andre Johnson, number 80, working against Ronaldo Hill, number 21. Here he comes back for the football. Let's take a look at the feet. Left foot. But now the push, I think the right foot came down in bounds. I really don't think there's much on that call. The evidence.
Let's see. Was he down, though?
Does he hold on to the football all the way through? Here's the left. Does he have control of the football all the way down? And yes, he does.
His back hit, though, as the other foot came down. So it's going to take some reviewing.
But the push, was the push also involved with that? Would he have come down without being pushed at all? Both feet in bounds. It looked there, but as you said, his back might have touched first.
Well, the ruling on the field, as we saw, was a reception, so there has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call. And it would indicate from that look at it, Richard, that there is no indisputable evidence to overturn it.
Exactly correct. And that's a nice throw by David Carr. Again, he sees Ronaldo Hill turn and run in that man protection if we hear the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field will stand. Completed pass. The result, first down. Tennessee will be charged with their second timeout.
So that takes the Tennessee timeout count. They have 2 remaining now. They lose 1. They had all 3 before that.
Yeah, both feet were down in bounds. Can't
Tennessee
control
will
the
be
football.
charged with their first timeout.
Great. Sure about that anyways. Cost Tennessee a timeout. Really very valuable. I wasn't sure that on that call upstairs when their people, Tennessee's take a look at the replay. That was really worth the challenge.
Texans trailed early 6-0. Build a 14-6 lead. Now they trail, but they're driving. And a give is for straight ahead yardage. Wally Lundy is in. Doesn't get much.
He read that the wrong way. He had Bullock come on the blitz. If he could have just stepped to his left, it was wide open on that draw play. Ran right into the teeth of the blitz that time, Wally Lundy.
Second down and 8 now arises. The Texans with the ball inside the 35-yard line of the Titans. It would be a 51-yard field goal from here. But it is second down and 8. Texans looking to guard against the turnover. Incomplete throw over the middle as the pressure was coming hard. Vanden Bosch, the guy they call relentless, coming hard with the pass rush.
Yeah, he does a good job of getting up the field now. You see how he turns that bull rush, and he got that into the inside hand that time. A good recovery that time by Eric Winston, but also on the other side, Travis LeBoy, number 91. He was the one who forced David Carr to have to step up into that pressure. Vanden Bosch might not have got there, but the hand gets in the way of the throw.
And this is big, Richard. Now we come to third down and 8. The Texans down 20-17, fourth quarter. David Carr stands in. Here comes the rush. He makes the completion. Turning to the near side, the tacklers come up, and later they spat him. Forward progress. He'd be close to a first down. That was Andre Johnson. Linesman, though, appears to spot it short, so it would appear to be about a yard or so short, which would indicate a field goal try by Houston. Here comes Chris Brown on the field. You see there's 2:14 left.
Timeout, Houston. This is their second. It's the 32nd timeout.
Could be Vince Young time again if they hit this field goal.
It could be Vince Young's time again. David Carr again standing in the pocket, waiting till the last moment and finding Andre Johnson. And Andre Johnson at this time, I mean, the way he can just get separation. Number 80.
He's a great one.
Oh, he is something else. What a physical specimen. When you see him run on the practice field and the catches, well, he turns his body in the air and everything. Again, David Carr finds Andre Johnson just on the check down. And how about that move in the open field? Seeing the pressure on Carr. I told you about on the outside here. But I like Eric Winston get that left hand in. But again, you see the pressure coming up the middle that time by Randy Starks working against Hodgson, the young center. David Carr still getting the throw off.
And Andre Johnson, Richard, with 7 receptions today for 68 yards. 92 catches for the season. But now the field goal try to knot the game with 2:14 left to play.
And Eric Winston, the right tackle, he's done a great job in terms of blocking against Vandenbosch most of the day tonight.
46-yard attempt. Stanley holds. Kick is on the way. And it is executed perfectly. And with 2:09 left to play, the game is tied at 20-all.
David Carr moving his team down the field. But like I said in the beginning, though, Don, he's back. Vince Young. It's his time.
I tell you, it's every week with these guys.
I'll tell you what, he is something else to watch. You wish the games never ended watching number 10. He's just magic on the field. And like we talked to him yesterday. We said, where did you learn about this? To be able to come back and lead a team. He said, hey, running on the streets. Get what you want to get. You got to be quick and fast, and that's what he does on the field.
His high school coach, Ray Seals, with the cap on in the center. A guy has been so instrumental in his formation. Secondarily, as a football player, first as a man, he really turned Vince Young's life around at Madison High School. Vince Young loves this moment. He loves the big stage and the pressure situation. And he's going to have it again now as he took his team 88 yards down the field in 15 plays. They get the go-ahead touchdown, and then David Carr and the Texans respond, taking it down for the field goal try by Brown, which was good. And now Pac-Man Jones goes back to return the kickoff. A very dangerous man with the ball in his hands. Brown ready to kick off.
I think you might want to squib this football. I don't think you want to get to anywhere near Pac-Man running the football.
Brown steps into it. He does pooch it. A spinning kick. It'll carry short. And it stays in bounds. It's not. It was it downed in bounds? It appeared that it may have been. That was a live ball there for an onside kick type of thing where they never recovered it, recovering the kick.
That was David Anderson, number 14. I think.
Let's see what Tony Carini has to say now.
A Houston player was the last to touch a kick before it went out of bounds. By rule, this is a kickoff out of bounds. The ball will be placed at the 40-yard line.
Wow.
Down.
Wow, that's big. Same as an out-of-bounds kickoff. It was touched last by a Houston player, and there it is. A great look.
Yeah, that was David Anderson, number 14, the wide receiver going down the sidelines here. And again, looking to get the recovery, but the ball just kind of bounced off his chest. And again, now you see it's out of bounds. And here, Tennessee's going to get great field position at the 40-yard line.
And now stepping.
The game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2:08. 2:08. Thank you.
Well, you take off a second, but they're all precious at this point. And so center stage again steps Vince Young, the rookie from the University of Texas, the local hero from Madison High School. And his high school coach saying his senior year they were drawing crowds of between 25 and 45,000 a game. Last 2 weeks he's engineered game-winning drives.
He's a gamer.
Rob Baronis' right foot was the decider with field goals. A 47-yarder against the Giants, and then last week a 60-yarder to beat the Colts. First down, Travis Henry. Texans denying much run yardage. Orland Greenwood on the stop. 2 minutes left. And Vince Young do it again. We'll find out when we come back to Houston. It is on the line at Reliance Stadium in Houston. The game tied 20-all. Vince Young, the rookie, at quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. Second down and almost 10. Standing in, here comes the rush. The ball is tipped incomplete. Got to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, his arm was hit on that throw that time.
The pass was ruled incomplete.
After starting this season 0-5, the Titans now looking for their 6th win in the last 8 games. But the Texans have come back to tie this one after they led at one point 14-6.
Yeah, that was Weaver, number 92, and I'm not sure if his arm was going forward on that play. Excuse me, that was Anthony Maddox, number 95.
An injury to any player inside 2 minutes
down again. He was shaken up earlier.
Timeout, Houston.
DeMarcus Fagans has made some terrific plays today for the Houston Texans, but he's also been knocked around, and hopefully he's going to be all right. Took a real shot earlier in the game, was down for quite a while. Now they're apparently looking at his right leg.
And remember, too, now, an injury inside the 2 minutes is an automatic timeout charged against your team here, and that's the last one for Tennessee. So how big was that timeout that maybe Jeff used earlier in terms of reviewing that play, that catch on the outside, where it really was, it was, the evidence was pretty conclusive that it was a catch.
Well, Houston loses their last timeout due to injury. We're inside the 2-minute warning. 1:54 left to play.
DeMarcus Fagans, one who's hurt here. He's on the outside, single coverage against Brandon Jones.
Hey, Fagans being helped out. It's Fagans. He's played a great game for the Texans.
I think he just jammed. Yeah, hamstring. You see him grab his left leg that time.
That's a big loss.
It is. He's doing a great job in coverage all day today.
He had 2 phenomenal pass breakups. One of them was going for a touchdown.
Dexter McLeon now, number 20, will come in and be his replacement.
Now here it is. 3rd down and 9 for the Texans. Defense to stop. Vince Young and the Titans stand in. Here's a throw and a catch, and it's short of the first down. But not by much. D'Amico Ryans dropping back in coverage. The linebacker makes the stop, a 7-yard gain.
Another game of over 10 tackles for D'Amico Ryans. But again, you saw that time. Houston rush 2, drop 9. Everybody get to their zone and then make the tackle. We talked about D'Amico Ryans, his ability to dissect a play and then come back and make the hit. That might be the biggest tackle on the game so far today.
So the Texans are going to get the ball back on a punt now, but they are without a timeout. There still is, though, a 1:13 to play. The clock is running. The Texans powerless to stop it. So the Titans want to run that clock down as far as they can, and they'll take the 5-yard delay of game.
Timeout.
Well, they call
Tennessee.
a timeout first, does Tennessee.
This is the second charge team timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, there was some poker playing last week by Jeff Fisher.
Well, I'll tell you what, we saw Barones kick it before the game now. This might be a little bit out of his distance, but you never know with Jeff Fisher what tricks he's got up his sleeve. When you talked to him last night, he said, hey, always beware. And you have to with Jeff Fisher. He must, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play poker with this guy.
Well, Jeff Fisher said to us last night, well, we keep people wary because we're notorious for fake kicks. Fake punts. This guy can throw the ball, Craig Hendrick. But that would be a gamble perhaps now. I might be looking to stop the Texans and play for overtime. 1:06 left to play in the regulation. High punt by Hendrick. And the ball will go inside the 5-yard line and down to the 1. Titan special teamers living dangerously. If his foot had been on the goal line, it would have been a touchback. That was Calvin Lowry, a good special teams player.
Great punt, great hang time. Saw how long that ball hung in the air, makes it so difficult. Take a look at it. See Dexter Wynn, number 25. He just loses it.
First touched by a kicking team member, number 31, at the 12-yard line. It'll be Houston's ball at the 12, first down.
So here you have it, 53 seconds left to play in regulation in this tie game.
The 12-yard line. I'm not sure. Was that Cortland Finnegan? I'm not sure anybody touched that ball.
Well, they seem certain of it, so they're giving him the ball now at the 7-yard line. But David Carr, here's another timeout.
The previous play will go under review.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
inside 2 minutes. Goes to review.
I don't think it's hit Cortland Finnegan.
Hard to tell.
There's nobody on the 12-yard line.
Didn't seem to change the trajectory of the ball off the bounce.
Excuse me, on the 7-yard line there. See if Cortland Finnegan, number 31, coming down. He's just trying to keep it out from going into the. It looked like it maybe brushed his left knee.
We are determining whether the ball was touched by a kicking team member at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, the 7-yard line. It looked like it just kind of grazed off his left knee. Cortland Finnegan trying to get down behind
this kid's
the
a good player, this Cortland Finnegan. He's a rookie from Samford. He's been making plays all season.
This one, see if this might be able to show us whether it just touches his. Tell you what, it is close. You cannot tell. It doesn't change the direction of the football at all.
Well, it's a difference of 5 yards between a 7-yard line start or a 12-yard line.
Not a whole lot here in terms of difference from where the ball's going to be started. You said from the 7 to the 12-yard line. He's done a good job too. They've really used him well on bringing him on blitzes too. Excellent pass
After reviewing the play, the ball was touched by a kicking team member on the 7-yard line. Be Houston's ball, first down.
Wow. So now what do the Texans elect to do here, Richard?
Protect the football at all costs. No mistakes down here. Hand it off.
They're setting up in a prevent.
Quarterback go down on one knee.
Playing for overtime at home. These Texan fans want to see the ball flying downfield, but risking a turnover now is not a wise.
Timeout. Tennessee. This is their second. It's a 30-second timeout.
Tennessee Titans will be able to stop the clock with their final timeout, but then they can run it down and out. Can the Texans? And off we go to midfield for a flip of the coin.
Correction, this is Tennessee's third and final charge.
That was the
timeout.
Third one, yeah.
So David Carr counseling his team, whatever we do, just get the ball in my hands, let me down it. And then we'll see what fate has for us in overtime.
I think the struggles that they had last week against Oakland, pass protection.
I don't know how you boo this decision. You got it. You're deep in your own end.
No, it's not even you don't even take a chance. You don't want David Carr to get hit. You've done a good job on your offense. Not at all. I think the only thing you might go back is here in 4th and 1 down in the 30-yard line. Maybe you might go for it there in the first down, but not when you back up in your own 7-yard line.
So now Gary Kubiak is calling for a full team meeting in front of the Houston Texans bench. Meanwhile, the clock is winding down and out in regulation.
That is the end of the 4th quarter. By rule, we will have one sudden death overtime.
The end of regulation, the beginning of overtime ahead. Going to go over the rules in overtime. A coin toss decides possession. 1 15-minute period, 2 timeouts per team. No coaches' challenges. The booth will decide what needs to be looked at. And of course, the first team to score wins, not the 25-yard line stuff in college football.
Exactly. First team does score, and I think the coin toss is probably the most important play here in the overtime.
You sure want the ball.
Happens, we will play one sudden death overtime period. The first team that scores will win. We will now only have 2 timeouts allotted to each team, and each replay review will come from the replay assistant upstairs. Tennessee as visitors, it'll be your call again. Who will call it? 96 is the head, is the tail. Number 96 calls heads. It is heads. They would flip on which one would go. Tennessee has won the toss and is elected to receive.
There is Vince Young. He certainly doesn't seem too worked up over it. Vince Young will try to bring his team to victory again. We'll find out what he does in a moment. Scoring summary now in this tie game that's now going to overtime. After a 24-yard run by Vince Young, Barones kicked a field goal to give the Titans a 3-0 lead. Another field goal by Barones. It was a 6-0 Titan advantage. And then David Carr handed off to Ron Dayne, who took it in. And the Texans on their home field had the lead for the first time of the day. Later, Ron Dayne again on a power run. It was a 14-6 game, Houston. Then turning the corner, running up and in. Travis Henry, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the field goal by Brown. Another touchdown run. Travis Henry takes it in. And then a power drive off the right leg of Chris Brown tied this game at 20-all, and that's where we are now as we head to overtime. And the Titans won what may be the all-important coin flip. It is for certain they get the ball first. The deep man to return the kickoff is Pac-Man Jones.
Can I just call it Vince Young time instead of overtime, Don?
Well, we'll find out. He does have one interception thrown today. Carr's not been intercepted. And here is the Pac-Man coming up on the ball to 7. 20. Looking for a place to go. He's got moves he hasn't used yet. Pac-Man turns the corner, and he's out across the 40. A tremendous return by Adam Pac-Man Jones, a 36-yarder.
And you can feel your heartbeat just start pitter-pattering more and more every step that Pac-Man Jones takes. And Dexter Wynn, number 25, makes a game-saving tackle.
Got to like throw a net over this guy to get him.
He starts to the left side here, and look at everybody just staying on their blocks and the vision that he has. And I'll tell you again, he doesn't look like he's running that fast, but nobody can catch up with him.
Dexter Wynn finally got him down. In overtime with this game now. A 20-20 count on the board. A field goal would win it again this week, as it has the past 2 for Tennessee. Travis Henry gets nothing. Big stop by the Texans. Dexter McCleon was the lead hitter.
And also D'Amico Ryans, number 59. And we haven't had a chance to talk about him all the time, but again, another game of double-digit tackles as we take a look at Rob Barones. We get to about the 40-yard line for him. But I'll tell you what, when we saw him kicking before the game, he might be able to kick from route right here the way he was booming him over.
Yeah, he was hitting the ball hard. 2nd down and 9 arises. And you know when they had the timeout that Jeff Fisher was mandating to his quarterback, whatever you do, don't turn it over. Vince Young loves this big stage, though, and he's center stage again now with a 2nd down and 9 coming up. Long ball. Drew Bennett. Penalty markers thrown way back.
And they got Dante Robinson on a hold, number 23. On the break, post corner move, and he caught Dante Robinson, and they're going to get him with the grab.
Holding defense number 26. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it's a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage.
You see him here, you see the break, and then right here you see the right hand. Number 23, Dante Robinson. I mean, he was beat off the mark.
And that gets the ball out to the 49-yard line, but of course a defensive holding is an automatic first down. That play came on a 2nd and 9. So Vince Young sets his team and goes to the run. Here is Chris Brown, who ran so well earlier. He takes it down to the 35-yard line. A 16-yard run.
Yeah, great job by Chris Brown seeing the flow of the defense and then hitting that cutback with a big run.
Be a 52-yarder from here, but they've got a lot more downs to work with. Try to get it into sure shot range. And if successful, they would extend their winning streak to 4 straight games. After the 0-5 start this year, Tennessee, right now, one of the best teams in the league. They win this one, they would win the 6 of their last 8. The rookie Vince Young, who led Texas to a national championship at quarterback. Handoff. Chris Brown, here's a penalty marker coming in from behind the play, and they're going to have an offensive foul.
Yeah, Courtney Roby, number 82 on the outside. He's going to get the hold. He had a good block, but when he threw the man down, that's when they threw the flag. Just keep bringing your feet A big holding penalty, if you ever called one, right here in Courtney Roby.
Holding offense number 82. This penalty is declined. Holding offense number 48. This penalty is accepted. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Got the double whammy on that one, huh?
Yeah, that changes the look. Field position changing dramatically now as the ball is set back to the Texans' 45-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 20.
It is the first one on the outside, and then here's Courtney Roby on the outside here too. As I said, just as he threw him down, that was Glenn Earl, number 26. Man in the striped jersey, see it, they're going to throw the flag.
First down. Vince Young under center to the run. And Brown works his way back inside the 40-yard line. This is a 4-year veteran from Colorado. Gets a 6-yard run to the 39-yard line of the Texans. We're in overtime. If they should stall here, it would be a 56-yarder. Basically the formula, the line of scrimmage in 17 yards. 7 back for the hold, 10 yards deep into the end zone.
Going to the nickel look now in defense. 5 defensive backs.
They certainly have a run offense aligned with extra tight ends. Jam in the box. Vince Young holds the ball, throws it out, makes a connection. And a good open field tackle on Ahmad Hall. The extra win was the guy who made the stop. Ball's at the 40-yard line. May have actually the 39-yard line will they'll spot it.
I would think here right now, just take the running game. You've been very successful in the cutback. Very good job of running the football straight ahead with power. I don't think you want to take a chance with a little flare pass like that again. Vince Young was a little late with throwing that football. They make a break on it. Could be going the other way. Stick with what got you going down here. Power football straight ahead.
I like this. Put him in the shotgun, let him throw, and if it's not there, let him run it to get it closer. Here come the blitzers. Vince Young on the run. Vince Young inside the 30. Off he goes. Vince Young inside the 20, the 10. It is over. Vince Young has done it again. A 39-yard touchdown run to end the game in overtime.
Vince Young has a flair for the dramatic, and he does it again, folks. Steps in against the blitz, finds the open lane, and I guess he knows the offense better than I do as he goes for the big touchdown in the win.
Put him in the shotgun, let him run it if it's there. Off he goes.
Don Criqui knows the offense better than anyone. It's simple to call.
Yes, well, what Vince Young can do, this is the most exciting player in the National Football League.
Speed on Vince Young in the open field. Take a look. I told you they're going to come on the blitz. D'Amico Ryan's on the outside. And again, the patience of Vince Young, not to panic. And then when he takes off.
That's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Again, take a look at it again. Looking downfield, he kind of just sidesteps some people. And now that burst in the open field, guys. Number 10, you've got to be a laser if you want to hit Vince Young. As anyone else, it's not going to get done.
So Vince Young comes home to Houston and has a phenomenal final moment. A touchdown run that ends the game in overtime. 26-20 Titans. And who knows where this team would go if the season were starting 8 weeks ago. They've won 6 of their last 8 now and 4 in a row.
I'll tell you what, he does some. He's a gamer. Folks, he's a gamer. He knows what it means to take it to the next level.
And there's Coach Ray Seals, his high school coach, who's probably the second happiest guy in the stadium.
Probably the most happiest. Took a man off the streets and made him into what he is. Vince Young, future star in the National Football League.
Now for Richard Baldinger, this is Don Criqui saying so long from Houston, where our final score is Tennessee 26, Houston 20. Coming up next, it's game 2 of our doubleheader. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of Super Bowl 41.